Hello, 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 hello. Hello. And let's do it over here as well. What is up? YouTube side. Goshek and Thunder Crew over there. Look at y'all. Look at y'all. Willowick just got the freezing temps in South Carolina. Sorry. We're in the negatives today. It's actually... What is it right now? I have lost my phone. 11 degrees right now, but we have lows in the negatives tonight, so that's just awesome. Make sure you, anybody in the area, put your faucets on a drip or a small stream, I guess is the better way to go. It's all kinds of fun. We did end up, we had some, at home, we've got some like 2-foot snow drifts. It's not that way everywhere, obviously, but. It
feels like -6.
Feels like -6, oh, the real feels -6 right now? That sounds, yeah. That's the kind of temperature where when you go outside, like my beard will just crystallize, like instantly. However, it is like a drier cold, and the snow is even like a dry powder, so it's not, it's different. It's impossible to build a snowman with, I know that. It's not the best playing snow. At least the hello, you thought somebody was there. Hello, Elise. Get the Clarice, Silence of the Lambs thing going on. Hello, Elise. It's good to see everybody. Callie, happy Wednesday to you as well. Kara, snowy Virginia. Hey, it's snowy Southwest Missouri here. We did get quite a bit of snow. Did you see a report of how many inches we got, actually? I mean, it's tough because there are snow drifts. Like,
I think they determined like around 6.
Around 6? So the 9 to 13 projection being 6.
Well,
sounds about right.
Certain weathermen have said, well,
yeah.
You can't really tell because of how the wind was blowing. So if you go ratio-wise, and then we probably did get around.
Okay. I mean, I shoveled some.
Trying to justify that.
There was no shit. Some 2-foot snow drifts that I was shoveling this morning.
Though, it wasn't just that weatherman predicting it. Everybody.
I understand. Haven't had snow since 1986. Chelsea, oh my gosh. Also a member of the Thunder Crew for 16 gosh heckin' months. Holy cow. Holy cow. Stu Becca, we were going to be in the home studio today, but I got out and did a test drive this morning, just running up to Casey's and back, and they scraped the roads here overnight or first thing in the morning, and the snow hadn't melted on them yet, but it wasn't slick. The only tough part whenever it snows that much is like getting in and out of places off the main roads, because there's giant piles of snow in all the entrances on the side of the road. You just got to get a good running start. I've got ground clearance, so it's fine. It is fine. Minions Den, your wings on Windsong Bast over on the YouTube side. Nice. Allie, vote for no snow at all. Oh yeah, Minnesota. Yeah. Brittany voting snowballs. Neither snowman or snow angel. This isn't even good snowball weather. Like Navy, it was too cold to play outside yesterday in the snow, which she was really bummed about. But I took our disc sleds and turned them upside down once it started snowing so they could collect snow. And then we took those sleds and just brought those snow loads inside and put the snow in the shower and let her play with the snow in the shower. And she had a really good time doing that. So she had her time. But then she's like, my hands are cold. I'm like, yeah, that's why we wear gloves. She's like, I don't want to wear the gloves. I'm like, well, then your hands will be cold. What do you want? Which way do you want to go? Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Just bringing the snow inside, and then, then trying to get the big sleds through the door and carrying them to the bathroom and getting them in the shower was a little bit difficult. So we ended up using just big bowls and put snow in there and brought it to her. What is snow, Hatter? Well, it's if you've ever seen, what's the Pacino movie? I'm blanking. The gift that you sent me about the snow. Is that Godfather? I don't think, is it? Yeah. Well, and this snow especially, very dry and powdery, was different. Snowman just did the snow in the shower thing and it was the best. Amber, hey, it's the way to go. It is the way to, and the cleanup is easy. Just turn the shower wand on and hose it down, right? just hose it down. Lisa used a broom instead. You can use a broom with this kind of snow. It actually works pretty decently. Where it's not 2 feet tall. Vote no more snow. I am all for no more snow as well. Megan Ashley, never catch the lives. Hey, Wednesday, 3 o'clock. Every Wednesday, 3 o'clock. Well, almost every Wednesday. Pretty much every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Central Time. We'd start off. We're just getting started here. Snow ice cream. You know, Luna, the now 92-pound golden doodle. She just had a weigh-in over the weekend, or yesterday.
Because
Her hair does not weigh that much. She's all fluff. But she loves to frolic in the snow, and then like the snow that she brings back in that comes off of her paws and stuff, she'll sit there and eat like a snow cone. And Navy's like, oh no, she's eating, that snow's dirty, it's been outside. I'm like, she's eating worse. She's a dog, just fine. You can't eat it, but yeah, let her eat that snow, it's fine. You don't allow the Scarface, thank you, Sue Beckett.
Yeah.
Scarface, yeah. The snow that he had all over his desk there, it's that, Hatter. That. Selena finally getting to catch a Wednesday live session since lessons were canceled. Horseback riding. They start at the same time as the live. Hey, so wait, are you instructing or are you a student? Horseback riding sessions. That's pretty cool. Hey, Luanuna, excellent. You know, we actually talked about this recently. There are some studies that talk about like not using white noise or like sound machines with your kids to help them sleep because it develops this ADHD need of like another sound to keep their brains occupied while they focus on something else. And Navy Thunder is definitely there. She likes to have some other thing going on to focus on something, and I'm the same way. I have to listen to music while I work, but like supportive music, not I don't know, preferably music without vocals, so it's more soundtrack focused, but listening to something or having something on while doing something else is, I think, an increasingly common thing. It's got to be an ADHD thing. 3 p.m. Central Time, Megan. Central. So Eastern, that would be, I don't know, math is hard. 4 p.m. your time, right? Love your nails, Boo. You have a horse? Very nice. You used to have a horse, didn't you, Candy Thunder? Yeah. You won a pony? Yeah? Horse and a pony. If we ended up with a pony, there you go, Tony Spark. Next time you do the auction, get a pony, and we can attach a horn to that pony and take it to Navy Thunder and tell her it's a unicorn, and she'll believe it forever. Forever. At least have to have noise now. You know, so that was my fear. Silent time. When they have silent time in school, I feel like Navy Thunder's gonna lose her shit. When it's like absolute silence, absolute quiet. Because she always has to have the other sound going on too. Now, she does have her mama in her. And Candy Thunder loves complete silence. Loves it. Complete silence is like a very uncomfortable thing for me. I don't. I mean, I'm getting better at it, and I think there's a therapeutic part of it where you don't have any of those distractions. It allows you to really focus internally. But maybe that's why I don't like it. It's like scary. I don't want to focus on that shit. I want to focus on the fun stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it.
I'm a psychopath, so.
Candy Thunder says, I'm a psychopath, so yeah. No, you're not. No, you're not. All right, let's go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. It is a snow day for us. We're working remotely for the most part, but we did venture out for the stream here today. I'm here, obviously. Candy Thunder is here, rode with me today, and Tony Spark made the trek to get here as well to be part of this live for you. So we came in and braved the 3 feet of snow in either direction, uphill, both ways, to bring you this stream today. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Life and limb.
You risked life and limb to be here to hang out with you.
And
I did spend. Candy Thunder is a passenger princess, an extremely vocal one, by the way. Oh my god!
Well, if I didn't save you from calamity, who would?
You saved me from calamity. You are the source of all calamity in the universe.
You tried to do a donut around.
I didn't try to do a donut. I successfully fishtailed, and that was the plan.
Whose side are you on, Tony?
Coming up, we have stories about family picture drama, partner gym drama, unwelcome birthday guests, inappropriate GoFundMes, extended vacations versus weddings, exposing affairs, comments about mother-in-laws. We also have spicy stories and a cake story. Look at that. Happy Wednesday live to everybody. A couple of notes before we dive in on stories. First goal on the TikTok side is 4K bolts to get Candy Thunder up here. On the YouTube side, we have a super goal of 10 supers, any color, and that will unlock a spicy story today. So even though TikTok is patched up and fixed, YouTube, all the unlocks are still on you today. The week's share goal on the TikTok side is 1,800. It is more important now than ever to make sure the content gets shared out. That is the best way for us to get in front of new people, and we rely on it heavily. So please make sure that you're not just liking the stream, but sharing it as well. Sharing is caring. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube side to stay up to date on all the latest content. On the TikTok side, if you also have a YouTube and you're not subscribed by now, shame. Shame, shame, shame. There's so much there that you will get to see that you're missing out on right now, including the Dusties are there. The live premiere went out last Monday. Was it last Monday? Feels like ages have happened since then. But that is there for your viewing pleasure, as well as the newest episode of The Imperfect Storms, which I believe we're recording a new episode of this weekend. So we're going to keep that train rolling. Also, YouTube side, don't forget, we have a YouTube member exclusive tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central. So that's going to be fun as well. Reminder today, keep chat positive and respectful. Everybody, of course, is allowed to have their own opinion, and we want you to share that opinion in a respectful way. If it becomes clear that you're just starting shit or prodding or starting debates in the religious or political territories, we will mute you. Also, if you end up spoiling a story that we're reading, you'll get muted as well. So just please don't do that, okay? And with that, get out your gosh heckin' brooms. Get out them brooms.
I needed a broom.
Broom that snow off the sidewalk.
Couldn't find a broom to get the snow off my windshield.
It works.
I kicked the wipers on and got it cleared off enough.
At least it wasn't icy. Like, it's that dry snow
it came
doesn't
right, like it was right off.
doesn't make ice. So the big fear now is like the sun's hitting a little bit and melting a little bit, but once that sun goes down, it's going to refreeze instantly and turn into ice. We'll see what happens. Hey, Margarita, dropping the first super on the YouTube side. Thank you so much for the love. Just Mags, welcome to the Gosh Heck Thunder crew. Good to see you. Hey, Windsong Bast over there. It's Minions Den with a different name. Mercy dropping the second super on the YouTube side, dropping the 5. Thank you so much for the love. Greatly appreciate that. Need that spicy story. You're right. You're right. Angel Arsenic, your hubby broke the snow brush cleaning your car off yesterday. Oh no!
One time I cracked my windshield when I was sweeping my windshield.
You cracked your windshield sweeping it? That seems like a Calamity Candy thing to do. All calamities are accidents. That's why they're calamities. Otherwise, it would just be.
But I didn't want to make holes in my car, so I put the license plate in front of it.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
it was metal on.
Oh yep.
And it
Yep. I hear you.
broke it, like,
I hear you.
tree rings like shattered.
Hatter dropping the 5 bomb on the YouTube side says, but Dusty, Hatter likes creating chaos. It took me years to master this skill. Don't take it away from Hatter. Okay, but look, if it's intentional, it's not calamity. If it's intentional, what would you call it? Mayhem? Yeah, maybe.
Tony,
Subeka dropping the 2 bomb over there says, Tony, do you have gas? I've asked him that multiple times today.
You need a gas.
And he has not filled up since we last talked to him. But he keeps saying he's got 60 miles till E. He's had 60 miles till E for 3 days now. So I think your internal gas gauge might be busted too. I think it might be.
Plenty of fuel.
Plenty of fuel. Yeah, we use. So I don't know if the broom question on here was like, why do we do the get out your brooms here, or what do we? So there's a snow conversation about brooms, but we use the get out your brooms here because it's about to get dusty. The knee slapper. Caden Thunder's not in the studio today to give the fake laugh to my dad jokes and stuff, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. He did. Yeah, he came up with the get out your brooms. It's about to get dusty. He's just as cheesy as I am, but he can turn it on and off, whereas mine is just on all the time. All right, let's dive into the very first story of today, ladies and gents. Ms. Jada, welcome to the Gosh Heck Thunder crew. Glad to have you here. Risa, Tony, fill up your truck. I keep trying. You know.
I did fill it, like last week.
I almost want to like start getting little gas cans and putting a couple gallons at a time in there and just sneaking them in the back of his truck.
You run out of gas
Just
one
in
time,
case.
and then all of a sudden you're always out of. Like, I mean,
Just
Welcome to my life.
Yeah. All right, let's rock and roll. Hey, it's Dusty with another Reddit story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for not going to take family pictures because my fiance can't go? We'll play the game here. Let's start a poll. 1 minute for the interactive poll. TikTok side, it'll be the top left-hand corner. YouTube side, please vote with a comment. Waiting on the poll to pop up. And there we go. 1 minute. Am I the astronaut for not going to take family pictures because my fiance can't go? I see multiple problems with this. First of which is scheduling family pictures at a time when your fiance can't go feels a little bit intentional. Or it's just a lack of logistical communication, which could be on you, OP. But I think if your fiance, at what point does somebody become part of the family? I think fiance's pretty safe.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty safe point there. I'm gonna go into you here, but there are a lot of factors that could turn it into like an ESH, or it could be on OP for not communicating things well and not allowing fiance enough time to get to free up the calendar to be able to be there. Oh, if she's not allowed to go because
She's not married.
mother-in-law or some shit like that, it's definitely an NTA. But then we got other problems, right? And NTA took it with 69% of the vote. Let's dive in. My grandpa is getting pretty old and is starting to decline in health, so my aunt thought it would be a good idea to schedule some family pictures since we're not sure how much time he has left. Originally, she scheduled them for the 18th last weekend and everyone could make it. As the day got closer, she suddenly sent out a text saying, "Hey, we can't do the pictures this weekend." My younger cousin's sports team had been picked or offered to attend a special camp that same weekend. Oh, so it was an individual selfish reason. Okay, I understand, like, you can't control the kids' sports stuff. That's calamity in and of itself. So instead of sticking with the original plan, the pictures were rescheduled for this coming Saturday. The problem is my fiance had her wisdom teeth removed this past Monday. With the pictures now set for Saturday and her still recovering from surgery, she won't be able to attend. My mom asked if I was going, and I told her probably not. She got upset with me and said that I should try to make it because, again, Grandpa isn't doing well. My grandparents will obviously be there, along with my aunt, uncle, cousins, mom, dad, sister, and my sister's fiance. Here's where I'm conflicted. I'm getting married in a few months, so if this is meant to be a family picture, my future wife should be included with everyone else. Because she can't go due to her surgery, I don't really want to go either. Am I the asshole for staying home? So
Peggy on the phone to tell us what the recovery is like for wisdom.
I was thinking about this. I was like, that might be enough time from wisdom teeth removal. I mean,
Depends on how impactful.
technically, but still there's a discomfort level, and I'm sure she's not gonna feel portrait ready after not even a full week after that. It's possible. But the problem that I have here is selfishly, sister moved it because she had a conflict. And when she did that, she removed the ability of everyone to go and just automatically switched it to another weekend without checking with everybody first. Had she checked with you first and said, does this date work for everybody? Instead of this is the new date, you would have had the opportunity to say, oh, wait, we're not going to be able to do that. Can we find another weekend? That's problem one that I have here. I feel like sister acted selfishly and didn't give you the opportunity. It's funny though, where she can have shit come up and that's worthy of moving things around, but you are not allowed to. So there's an imbalance there, right? But it also sounds like she's the organizer of all of this. So she kind of has that baked in power, which is not okay either. OP, I feel like you need to speak up and instead of just saying, no, I'm not coming, be like, hey, can we move it to X date? Throw out some alternative options here. There's also, depending on how you're doing these photos, inevitably getting large groups of people together all at the same time is very, very difficult, right? I, on multiple occasions, have had to duplicate a shot to get a person or a couple in that wasn't there for the original and then Photoshop them in, right? That is a possibility as well. So I would throw out some alternatives so that it's not just, no, I'm not going. It is, hey, if we could do this date, it would work. Or if we can do a makeup shoot and get photoshopped in, that would work as well. But right now, there's kind of this all or nothing zebra attitude with it, where it's either we're going to be there for it or not, and there's no option of moving the date. There's no option for anything. That could come from rigidity from his sister or from his mom or from his family or whatever, but bleh. They could thin out her face after it. Man, so the effulgent one, I think you get into tricky territory when you start making aesthetic changes in Photoshop to people, right? Like, it would have to be done with her permission first. Otherwise, it's a no-no to make some aesthetic changes to people without their permission. She would have to request it. And as a photographer, getting those requests, we've had to Photoshop people to thin out their fingers before. By their request. Oh, yeah. We performed plastic surgery in Photoshop for people for their business portraits. And we still see them on billboards around town, which is really funny. It's feeling like an ESH here to me because there's a lot. Light just went off and then went back on. It just decided to stop working and then to start working. Hey, Joanne Harrison with the 5 bomb over here said hello to the Dusty crew. Thank you for your entertaining stories. Thank you so much for the love. We appreciate that. What do you guys think here? Terry, yes, we photoshopped fingers. They aren't married yet. She doesn't have to be in it, Christian Museum Girl. However, sister's fiance is in it, so there's an imbalance there. There's some obvious favoritism or a power play being controlled here, or just some selfish attitude. You know what I mean? What do you think? Why can't it be done the next weekend? That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't sound like OP's even asked that question yet. Throw out some alternatives. So the question is, am I the astronaut for not going? I think you might be a little bit of one for, instead of not going, not throwing out alternatives. Sister is obviously an asshole for just inconveniencing everybody because of a schedule change that she had and not giving anybody else the opportunity to jump in and change things. She wasn't excluded. She chose not to make it. Platinum Imagery says, no, I think moving in a weekend without checking with people first and puts that just, less than a week after her having her wisdom teeth pulled, I think excludes her. Whether sister knew that or not is unknown, but also kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it would make it worse if she knew it. CG Wait says, if you're going to Photoshop it, just have everybody send a pic and build up the photo in Photoshop. That is a recipe for disaster, and here's why. Having like 10 different sources send 10 different photos shot on 10 different cameras with different lenses, resolutions, white balances, it would be a freaking mess. Matching lighting at the very minimum would be necessary to make that work, which is why we typically will go back to the same place, same time of day. Hope conditions are similar, use the same settings and we do everything the same to make it a lot easier. It is a nightmare either way, though. It's an ESH for me. And for where OP specifically would land on here, Bayfox, I agree with you. I'd say ask on 4 for not asking sis if it could be moved or throwing out some alternatives and instead just being like, yeah, I don't think I'm going. Could have done that differently. Maybe not should have, but could have. Sister gets a bigger ASCON rating for just automatically moving it and not allowing other people the same opportunity she gave herself. Oh, CG. Understood. I'm like, if I was the person in charge of photoshopping that together and everybody just started sending random selfies to me, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want to do this.
Well, we have photoshopped people into our family photos.
Yeah, we talked about that, but when you do that, it has to be, we do it like the same scene, same time of day, same lighting, same camera setting, same everything, and it's still a pain, but yeah, you could do like a collage kind of thing. I think they're wanting one group all together because grandpa's nearing end of life, right? And that's understandable, but making it inconvenient for other people when you're the organizer is not cool. Lexi says I would have checked with everybody before rescheduling. I would do the picture with just OP, fiance, and grandparents. I wish I had done that. So that's possible too. There's a lot of alternatives here to just not going, and I think that's where I'm at. Maybe they couldn't move it again, or the photographer had no space anytime else. Shaz, that's possible too. There's a lot of possibilities here, but I think OP's general response of like, I'm just not going to go, instead of exploring those alternatives, is where there's an issue with me. There's a wedding in a few weeks. Do it there, Kitty Cat Queen. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Angie finally switched over to the YouTube membership. Hell yeah. Welcome to the Goshak and Thunder crew. Also, here we're in between story. We're also at 3,400 to 4K right now. I'm going to get a little bit of catch up here. Darcy dropping the bombs over there with the lightning bolts. Tony Spark dropping some lightning bolts as well. Julia, Luna Rose, Overkill Mill. Why am I not seeing? It's not showing me everybody's name like it normally does. This is weird. TikTok Live Studio with their updates. Always making things more jacked up instead of less. I don't know how that works. Mia Shelton Adventures with it, so it didn't show me everybody's full name now. And that's just unacceptable. Even when I move it all the way over. Why is it doing this? It's so hard to see now. Karen, Tammy, Overkill Mill, Julia, Jerry, Tammy again there, Misfit, Crimson, Nicole, Luna Rose. It's not showing me. I can't even see full names. Libra, Abby. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the love. Hey, Mandy says, Candy Dusty, thanks for the uploads on Spotify. Love to listen to you when I work. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. We have not pushed the Imperfect Storms to Spotify yet.
I gave Caden the green light.
You did give him the green light to do that? Okay, cool. The Imperfect Storms is coming to Spotify. Look at that. We got a new one being recorded this weekend, so we'll have two.
Ava has questions for
Ava has questions for us?
the Imperfect Storm.
Oh, for the Imperfect Storms. Wow. She has topics for us? Or she has questions on like the blended family side of things?
No, she has questions for Gen Z questions.
Gen Z questions.
Yeah,
Looking forward to that.
she's gonna make an appearance.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey Libra, thank you. Adventures with Them. You know what? It shows me like 4 letters of everybody's name now. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what it. Will it come out on a Sunday? Mercy?
Next Sunday.
Yeah, probably next Sunday. We'll need a week to edit and to proof. Elise finally watched the Imperfect Storms while you could actually comment. I think it took you 3 times watching. It takes, like, whenever I watch podcasts like that, I have to, like, chunk it. I have to watch a bit. Luckily, I can come back and on YouTube pick up from where I left off, which is handy. But we threw it up on the TV and watched through it, and it was, yeah. And while editing, I was genuinely entertained, too, which was fun. Sorry for the bumpity bump there. All right, we'll dive into the next story here.
You said, we did talk about Elise on the Imperfect Storm.
Yeah, we did. We did talk about Elise.
But I do like train wrecks. Look at my previous
Oh, gosh. All right, here we go with the second story. Hey there, it's Dusty with yet another story for you. This one comes from Relationship Advice and is titled, Girlfriend 28 Female Keeps Making Excuses About Working Out. What can I, 27 male, do about this? Won't do the poll for this one because it's not an AITA. The one and only me, you get the helium sound. If you get the helium sound, bounce out of the light or the app, bounce out of the app and then jump back in. That will typically heal it for you. Yeah, title again on this one. We won't do the poll, but I'll read the title again. Girlfriend 28 female keeps making excuses about working out. What can I, 27 male, do about this? Hee sounds like a recipe for disaster. My girlfriend and I have been dating for almost 2 years. Prior to meeting her, physical fitness was very important to me. I would be in the gym 5 days a week consistently. As time went on, I went to the gym less and less. We put on happy weight, so to speak, but for the last few months, I've been trying to get us in the gym consistently. Bringing her to the gym is like pulling teeth. It takes her hours to get ready. Once we're there, the gym is already packed and she wants to leave within an hour. She does not make good use of her time at the gym either. She would walk on the treadmill for 15 to 20 minutes, use a rowing machine, do various exercises, and then sit in the sauna or stretch, all while texting me constantly saying, I've I'm overstimulated, or I feel really weak today, or I feel sick. Not an enjoyable experience. I tell her to push through and those feelings are normal, but she's ready to give up. She tells me that it's more important to stick to a diet, and I fully agree with her, but I also told her the importance of actually working out at the gym. She says this, and when at home, she does follow a diet, but she always wants to eat out and would go to our favorite Mexican spot once a week. She has PCOS caused by complex PTSD. She says she can't do a lot of workouts, including running, due to inflammation and joint instability. She says that her cortisol levels get elevated and she has insulin resistance as a result. All of this, including the PCOS, is a self-diagnosis using info from Facebook Reels and WebMD. I told her to see a real doctor, but she says they don't know what they're talking about with this specific issue. She gives me a whole variety of reasons why she can't do XYZ. I try to show her a new workout. She says she cannot due to joint instability. She used to tell me that she didn't want to use the rowing machine because her back will get too muscular because she puts on muscle fast. It was such a lame excuse, and now she's using the rowing machine. Her back isn't any more muscular than before. I tried my best to lead by example, to go to the gym often, and eventually she'll work out too. I get a lot of protest about going to the gym. My girlfriend will tell me, oh, we need to do XYZ, and the other list of errands. I even told her that I want to go alone and she can do whatever, and she just says, no, I want to be with you. Okay, well, okay, I'm throwing red flags at both of you right now, because your approach up to this point, OP, has not been okay. And the whole time I'm like, why don't you just fucking go yourself? Why wouldn't you just go yourself? A lot of people in couples, I'd say most people in couples who go to the gym go themselves, because it's like it's a me time thing. It's a personal thing. It's an individual thing. But when you try to go to yourself, she says, no, she wants to be with you. Okay. Now it's a little bit different. I offered to drive separate so she can leave whenever she wants and I can stay as long as I need, but she refused. I even told her that there's a 65-plus-year-old woman who is at the gym working hard almost every day. What? Okay. You said that for what point? My girlfriend says that she's probably healthier than I am. I didn't even know how to respond to that. 2 days ago, I bought my girlfriend 2 days ago, I bought my girlfriend chocolate just to be sweet. Of the pack of 12, I ate 2 and she ate the rest. When she was on her 4th piece of chocolate, I told her that she shouldn't have any more. She looked at me, didn't say anything, and continued to eat more.
Dude, you're not her dad.
The next day, she was telling me how much her joints hurt due to inflammation. She partially blamed me for not making dinner in time, so that's why she overindulged on chocolate. I told her she needed more self-control, and she blew up on me. She sent me a wall of angry texts telling me about her PCOS and how insensitive I am. Later that night, she spent over an hour telling me how much of a failure of a partner I am. Also, she turned it into me being emotionally unavailable, etc. She also told me her body being put into fight or flight due to blood sugar dysregulation, and that she won't tolerate being shamed about eating chocolate. She turned it into me eating a lot of carbs and having privilege of being able to burn it off. Lastly, she told me that if I ever brought up the subject of her sugar cravings or her weight, I never brought up her weight, and then we are done. It seems that she doesn't have any agency over her own life, and that's the biggest issue I have above all else. Edit! Another thing is that my girlfriend is noticing weight gain. She tells me she's embarrassed of it, and I tell her we need to be consistent with our diets and exercise. She would also randomly spam me with old photos of her when she was skinny, etc. She wants to lose the weight, but doesn't do anything to work at it, except complain to me about her weight gain and tell me I was so hot back then. Too long don't read. My girlfriend makes excuses about not going to the gym. When we are there, she wants to leave immediately. Physical fitness is important to me, and I am putting on weight. I'm not sure how to make a compromise. This is so much bigger than the gym. This is so much bigger than your fitness. This is so much bigger than body image. This is so much bigger than anything. Y'all kind of seem like a toxic combination, honestly. It's a little bit of a Kobayashi Maru, but you are developing this resentment right now, and understand where that's leading, right? You resent her for you not being able to get in shape. And you resent her for her choosing not to get in shape, which there has to be this line of separation, I feel like, where like you can control your own fitness, you can control your own health, you can control your own body. When you start trying to control someone else's, especially when that someone else is a girlfriend, you are treading into dangerous, dangerous territory. and it's not your fucking place. It's not your place. Yeah, you should lead by example here. You should be a lighthouse. And when you say, I want to go by myself, but she says no, that's where a boundary has to be created. And to say, look, I understand that you don't want to go all the time, but this is something that's very important to me, and I'm going to go. You can do that. You say she protests or she refuses, she's not going to prevent you from going to the gym. It may lead into a disagreement. The bigger issue here for me is that you're resenting her for your inability to be able to go, and you're blaming her for all of this. Her personal choices are her personal choices. You cannot start dictating to her what she can and cannot do. And I know that you're trying to do it in your head in like a kid glove kind of way, but that is not the way that it's happening. It's right now very, very pointed, and I'm sure that resentment is coming through and all of that. Yeah. Hey, Tater Thunder, why don't you come up and give us your thoughts on this? We got the heat and lamp on right here for you. Melanie with the whale diving. I heard the splashing and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh, we got a busted pipe here? Oh no. Thank you so much for that. Very, very cool. Come on up. Tater Rooney.
Listen, as someone who, when something's not right, and this woman obviously knows there's something wrong, and it's really hard to go to a doctor and feel dismissed and then want to go back and like keep trying to find a diagnosis. And I understand that at some point she was probably dismissed and feels like she's got it figured out. But with as much as that she's saying is wrong, she needs to find a doctor that will listen to her and find someone who understands what you're going through so that this woman can get whatever help it is that she needs, because the things that she's listing off sounds like she needs to find someone to help her manage her life so that this doesn't don't let this control your life. Don't let all of these things pile up when you're young and not have the full life that you want to have. And I feel like she's allowing these things to pile up and puts them on the back burner, even though she knows she feels bad, even though she knows that she doesn't feel good, she doesn't have the motivation, she doesn't have the energy. It's hard. Like, I understand that, and I respect how she feels and all of that. But I think this guy is they just don't seem compatible, right? Like, they seem like she's not ready to face whatever it is that's going on with her, and that's understandable. Like, going to the doctor and ripping off that Band-Aid and finding out that something is actually wrong, that's a hard step to take, and probably more common than anyone realizes. But I do encourage her to do that, though. Whether it sucks and she has to go through 10 doctors to find the one that works for her, I really, really encourage her to do that. But him making her feel like shit for the things that she has going on sucks. But also her making him feel like shit for wanting to go to the gym sucks. So either communicate and get on the same page, or recognize that you're not compatible and break up. But otherwise, forcing her to do something is only going to cause resentment. And you not doing something because you feel like she's not in support of it is going to cause him to resent her. So unless you're willing to concede, or unless you're willing to change things about yourself, then I don't think that this relationship can survive.
It does feel, I saw a comment that they're relying on each other for excuses.
Right.
And it kind of does feel that way. Now, it does feel like OPE has the drive to want to do it, but is feeling guilted into not going because she wants to go and doesn't want him to go without her. Well,
right.
That's where a boundary has to be created, right?
Right.
But I feel like the resentment of letting that control happen is what is leading him to make a bunch of brozo statements here.
Like the chocolate thing, like, dude, come on. Like,
do you really need that next chocolate?
If someone
you're like, you didn't get your ass dumped immediately.
Yeah. If someone looks at me and tells me not to eat the next piece of chocolate, I'd be like, I would eat it immediately. But I'm also an asshole, so I don't. He needs to be more supportive of her finding out what is going on rather than her trying to get in the gym. I understand that he thinks it will help her, and it honestly probably would. I think exercise would help the majority of people with problems that we have. I know it would help me, but I'm not doing it. But I mean, I'm not the only one here that's probably like, I really should work out, but I'm not doing it. I'll check back in spring. But this, I think that the problem is that she needs to find out what's going on with her and recognize what is actually wrong. Because I think there's so many different things that could be going on. It may not just be these certain things. Like, I think her finding out what is going on is of the utmost importance. But I don't know. I just feel like him monitoring her chocolate intake and forcing her to go to the gym, also for over an hour, that's a long time. I don't know.
To be at the gym?
Yeah. I would feel
if you're making
overstimulated in the gym.
the trip there and you have a regiment, like he sounds like he's got a regiment that he wants to go through, right? And she doesn't. She has a few things that she likes to do, but then she's ready to go. And that's honestly, that's where a boundary has to be created.
Well,
you have to say, like, look,
yeah.
I take this seriously, and I need to go myself.
And if you want to work
this.
out with her, and if she's overstimulated at the gym, then go hiking. Like, go walking outside. Go find something that works for both of you, and then do your gym the other half of the time.
There you go.
Like, find a compromise that makes you both feel good. Monitoring chocolate and whatever else, like forcing her to the gym, that's not going to work for anyone.
Petty bullshit.
That's just going to make people pissed off, and that's going to make her angry and resentful. But I understand where both of them are coming from, and I really hope that she decides to make choices so that later in life her body doesn't fail her in the way that when she needs it the most. Because we're learning, like, as you get older, like, if you don't put the work into your body, like, it's not going to be there for you in the way that you need it. So I think anyone who's young and feels like something's going on, like, figure it out. Figure out what's going to make you the healthiest version of yourself. Because I wish I had put more effort into health in my 20s.
Very common thing.
Yeah.
Because then you get into your 30s and 40s and you're like, shit, I'm a human. Oh, no.
Shit. Yeah. It's kind of like why I think that's why people slow down.
Yeah.
There's no reason why everything hurts.
I
think that's like-
that's why, like, you lay on the wrong pillow or the pillow the wrong
Yeah.
way, and like your neck is all fucked up for a week. You start pulling your back, just wiping your ass on the toilet. Like, stuff just happens, and you're like,
Stand
man,
up.
I wish I would have done more to prevent this kind of shit when I was younger.
Yeah.
Up and it sounds like snap crackle pop.
Yes.
So, like,
Yeah.
I think it's like when you're younger, like when you turn 16 and you're driving, and like when I was 16, I was like speeding and like nothing could ever happen to me and I was invincible. And now I'm like, oh, I'm crossing 35. So 35 and a 35 is as fast as I'll go. Sometimes.
So you're at an ESH.
I think they both suck. And I think that they could be there and support each other, but
Instead,
put your pride to the side and make an effort to meet her halfway, and she needs to make an effort to meet him halfway. And that's what you have to do in a relationship. And it doesn't feel like either one of them is willing to concede.
it's very much a
I
zebra
don't wanna
approach right
wait
now. It's
to
black
my-
and white. It's all
Yeah.
It's all like all or nothing instead of finding the gray area, finding some kind of compromise that will work. And I do strongly believe that for her, like, he's already unlocked his drive. He just is struggling getting there because he feels held back by her resentment, right? For her, I feel like it's probably equally a psychological and a physical thing, right?
Right.
There is, what is it? Aspiration. I can't remember what the word is, but it is determination to see the end results is what can fuel you to go through that, right? Determination for the end result to happen, which can be feeling better. And I think that's one thing that happened as I got older. Like, my health became much less about looking good and became a lot more about just liking the way I felt when I drank more water versus 27 Monster Teas in a day. I've never drank at 27. You know what I mean? I think it becomes much more about how you feel. But for her, I think she's got to tackle the psychological side and the health side, and probably even more so the psychological side if she has talked to some physicians that made her feel dumb and made her feel unseen.
Let's talk to your therapist about how to talk to your doctor. Like, allow them to give you that confidence to go in, because, and I see a lot of people saying misdiagnosis and being dismissed by a doctor. I 100% understand being dismissed by a doctor. Trust me, 150 fucking percent. But and you know, my mom is a nurse, and she's explains to me, like, you pay them to walk in the door. And I understand that you can be dismissed, but they're not doing anything to keep you there. There are hundreds of doctors in this area. Go find one that you can speak to and that they hear you and they understand you. And try to find a new one, try to find something. And when you walk into to a doctor's office and you don't look like anything's wrong with you, there are probably 75% of them that are going to dismiss what you're telling them. But try.
Which is sad,
keep
right?
Trying. Yeah, it is fucking sad.
It sucks
it's
that you have to keep trying. It sucks that, but I guess, doctors are humans just like anybody else, and there are assholes, and they have their predispositions.
Guys, I've been there. It fucking sucks. And he went with me and helped advocate for me to go, and I figured stuff out, and I found someone who's willing to listen to me, but she's still mildly dismissive of things that I'm like, this makes sense, but this is also happening, and it's hard. And I think the confidence in therapy that you can gain to talk to a physician about what is really going on may be a key for this person.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be more difficult for her to get there with him around.
Right.
And it's going to be more difficult for him to get where he wants to be with her around.
Right.
It's like there's a toxic combination happening right now, and I don't know what the plus sides are to this relationship, but right now it seems like they're going to hold each other back. They're already at resentment on both sides, it feels like. So pretty much it's going to be indifference soon, and then it's done.
Yeah, and she may already be done based on the message that she sent. About the
Nobody tells me not to eat my fucking chocolate, boy.
To be honest, I feel like he might be done though too, because he's just kind of doesn't understand.
He's resenting right now, but he's gonna get to indifference soon. He doesn't understand. You're right. He doesn't understand. He's not trying to either. He's maybe oversimplifying and being like, well, your problem is you eat a lot of chocolate and you don't go to a fucking gym. Brozoing. And then you finally find a physician who will listen to you and get a plan worked out and get that plan scheduled and in process, and then insurance is like, no. My goodness. So it's an ESH for me. I do feel like he sucks much worse than she does in this case because she's struggling with a lot of things. He's struggling with one thing. And the one thing that he's struggling with, he could take a hell of a lot better approaches to, and is just choosing not to, kind of all for the name or for the sake of brozoing. So I'm giving an ESH, but I am throwing a brozo at him. Riza dropping the 10 bomb on the YouTube side says, mine told me I was always depressed because I was fat. I ripped him a new one, said, yeah, has nothing to do with you cold turkey me off one antidepressant to another and back. He was fired that day. Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn. He's trying to mansplain to her, Wonder Woman. That makes sense. Good gravy. Let me get some music going on here. Gonna get the list.
Oh, yeah. I brought it up there and then I brought it back.
And get some thanks here. We hit the goal on the YouTube side, and we already brought Candy Thunder up here. Do you have any Navy stories?
I did. What did I think of?
Well, we'll give you time to think of that while I'm thanking the list here. In particular order on the TikTok side, this is Andy because I can no longer sing full names on TikTok Live Studio. Mia Shelton leading the board here with 980. Adventures with Pam in the number 2 spot at 446. Overkill Mill at 413 in the 3 spot. Then we've got Anna Hartman, Crimson Marie, Nicole Trujillo, Bailey Chapman, Jilly55, Darcy LC, E-Tate Johnson, Big Hearted Bo, Abby May, Melanie J, Link Sky Chaser, Ruby Redhead, Hoorn, God's Blessed Wonder Woman, Greta Swan, Gray the Swan. I've read this before. Gray the Swan. Tony Spark, Violet Green, Mama Says So. Thanks, guys. That was
Somebody reboot him.
very, very, very helpful. Your judgment is very helpful. Thank you. Carol Jaworski, Candy Thunder, Daisy Desserts, Tammy Lee, Mela Oso, Christian Museum Girl, A.K. Mary, Luna Rose, Justina Jules Fadesy. That That Inked Mommy. Sorry, words are really hard for me today. Minions Den, Misfit, Don McLean, Jerry Lee Go 4. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there. Sorry I butchered names and stuff. Words are real hard. Words are real hard. Everything's real difficult today. Okay, the next one we're going to do on the TikTok side will unlock a Tony Spark appearance and a spicy story. Tony Spark. Spicy Tony Spark? Spicy Tony?
The spicy story was a late addition by Candy Thunder.
Oh.
As we were starting the stream because you saw it and she's like, holy shit.
Oh, she found a spicy story like right as the stream was starting? And that's the one that we're going to unlock now? Hey-yo. We are 3 away, 3 supers away on the YouTube side from unlocking the first spicy story as well. Yes, Tater? Give me a loving booty pat. Oh no, there they are.
Leg top pat.
My leg tops. I don't have a butt. I'm sorry. I have leg tops.
Ooh, I will say, massage
Yeah, massage therapy has been very helpful. Not like the happy ending kind, like the therapeutic kind. What?
God.
I was both shocked and very impressed. David. I gave him a wad of cash and told him to take good care of you, which in hindsight, I'm thinking might have been a bad idea. All right, Margarita dropping the $2 super on the YouTube side. Thank you so much for that. Subeka dropping the 2 as well. Said, make sure you follow Tony Spark on TikTok, everybody. Look at that. At Tony Spark _.
I would, but he's not on my side.
I am.
He's not on your side? What?
He's mad at me.
I'm just,
My brother's mad at me.
Oh.
just a little.
What are you guys fighting about?
Because I sent him the gift.
Oh.
Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, in 3 different chats, 2 different days.
That's the story you can tell. Yes,
Can I hold it
come
up
on.
to the camera?
Bring your phone and show him the GIF. You gotta do it. Okay, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive into our next story, a quick story from Candy Thunder. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. We got to get the tater heat lamp going.
Oh gosh.
There we go.
Okay. So Tony said something about making a wrong turn, and so we always send gifts. So I looked up a gift for Wrong Turn, and there's the movie that's called Wrong Turn. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay.
Wait, hold it up longer because
My phone is so dirty. I'm sorry.
it's fine. You can see it.
There you go. Okay. It doesn't freak me. I don't get grossed out by it. I think it's hilarious. The gift just makes me laugh my ass off. It's the head bobbing that makes me laugh my ass off. So anyways, I sent it to Tony and he's like, that's the grossest thing I've ever seen. And so like 20 minutes later, we had another conversation and I forgot about that movie too. But yeah, they're just so weird and hilarious. But so I sent it again in response to something that he sent me, and he got really upset because he said it disturbed him. And so I went to another chat with Tony.
I was laughing.
I went to
cackling.
Let me tell my story. I went to another chat with Tony and Caden, and in response to something Caden said, I sent the GIF again. It was applicable to the situation. And then I went to whole team and I was like, school's canceled tomorrow again. And I sent the same GIF and he freaked out. And so and then
different chats.
Yeah, I used it like 5 times.
And what did I tell you?
And he told me to go to the VIP group and find it on Facebook and then tag Tony. And you guys would have loved it. But it's not available on Facebook, unfortunately.
Did she use it again this morning?
And so this morning, I only had one more time to use it because, I can't go back to the funny trough.
Did you know you can download that image just as a GIF and then upload it as an image on Facebook?
I am dying. Like, tears are streaming from my eyes. All of this is happening in like the span of like 30 minutes. And so I go this morning, I sent it back to Tony and something I said school. What did I send it for? I don't know.
Oh, school's out. Yeah.
I sent him.
I don't know what it was.
I sent it again and it was applicable to the situation.
I think I said it was Arctic Thunder. Why do we live in Arctic Thunder?
He said, I'm planning on coming in for the stream. And I said, yay. Head bobble. And he lost his ever-loving mind. And so I'm just dying. Like, this does not freak me out. I'm just dying. And then...
oh my God. Josh just sent it to me in a text. And Look how he did it.
Okay.
God.
Oh, so while this is all going on yesterday, I'm sitting on I'm sitting on the couch and Navy's in the other room with Dusty, and I come back in, or she comes running in there and she's like, "Why are you laughing at me and the things that I say?" And I'm like,
She was offended.
yeah, because I was laughing so hard from the other room that I guess she was talking in there and thought I was laughing at her. And I was like, first of all, not everything's about you. Second of all, I can't show you what I'm laughing at because you won't find it funny. All right. Dang it.
All right, what?
These spammers are killing the...
Kill the vibe.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'm in friend jail from Tony because I sent too many terrifying gifts. That's it.
I was laughing along with you yesterday. I was literally
now
laughing.
it's funny.
I even told you I was cackling too because
I do think
You said I hate you.
I do think
morning.
we need to go ahead and make a t-shirt that has that on it. It'd be even better. You know those shirts that have like the I don't know what this kind of artwork is called, but it's like it changes the picture when you view it from different angles. If you could view it from different angles and actually get the animation of the GIF to play when you change directions, we'd have to get you that t-shirt. Like it's gotta happen. Or just the t-shirt with the freeze frame on there. I think that would work too.
Remind me of the guy from Harold and Kumar
Okay.
Go to White Castle. The
Wait.
guy with all the boils.
Crystal said
Oh,
she
yeah.
missed the GIF.
Oh. What are we doing?
She wants the one more time.
Oh, one more time?
My phone's so dirty.
Oh, hold it like this.
How do I report this live?
How do you report it?
I gotta clean my phone.
Yeah, hold on. I think I have some lens cleaner stuff over here.
I used just use my sleeve.
Well, okay, you're gonna need more than just your sleeve. Here, use that. Use that.
I'm gonna start making this.
A hologram. There you go. Image shift shirt. Yes, yes. Somebody finds that or finds a place that will make image shift shirts or the hologram shirts, let me know.
Move on.
Okay, we're moving on. Hey, we did hit the 10 out of 10 on the YouTube side. Let me catch up on that side real quick, and then we're gonna dive into the spicy story here. I'm going from bottom to top. Dr. Sweets dropping the 10 bomb said, years of people mispronouncing my name. I swore if I was a teacher, I would never do that. On my first day at a teaching, I proceeded to mispronounce everybody's name. No judgments, Dusty. Words are hard. It's word. Thank you, by the way, for the super. I will read a name 100 times, and then the 101st time, my brain's like, that's new, and just shuts down completely. I don't know. Hatter dropping the 5 bomb said Candy and Tony remind me of siblings that love each other, but also love getting on each other's nerves.
I'm Alexis, he's Dave.
Yeah, this is David and Alexis, clearly. And I'm somehow Johnny Rose, and Moira. I'm Johnny and Moira, and somehow they are Alexis and David, and I don't know how that dynamic works out, but it works out. Hey, Jennifer Tuatha back as a member on the Goshak and Thunder crew. Hell yes, glad to see you. Subeka dropped the 2 for, it says another super for Moira, Dusty. There you go. Joanne, take care of yourself when you are young because arthritis sucks. With the 5 bomb, Mercy dropping the 2 says spicy, and Subeka, of course, reminding everybody to follow Tony Spark over there. So we'll dive over to the spicy reward story number 1, correct?
But make the shirt for me so he has to look at it.
That was my whole point. We have to get you the shirt, but you have to wear it with like a cardigan or something so it's not immediately noticeable, and then just like reveal.
Every time he makes me upset.
If it is the hologram one though, like you gotta look at him when you're talking to him, do
I'll
this.
just bubble my head and my body will move with it.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get this as a poster and hang it behind her desk.
We need to reel this back in.
Oh man.
Set a new goal on YouTube.
Okay. All right. We'll set a new goal on the YouTube side. Let me give some. Can I get a gifter list for that? We'll give some thanks real quick. Then we'll read the spicy story, and then we'll jump over and do the other one here too. Is AV sync off for everybody on the TikTok side? Callie, I'm seeing your message, and I saw a couple of others there as well. I did make a couple tweaks on my audio filtering, but I didn't add anything new. So I'm hoping. Okay, I'll adjust my sync. YouTube side, is it off on your side as well? I'm gonna have to do. I will have to make some tweaks after this stream to make sure that I fix it for next time.
Guess who can delete people? From
I'm sorry, Angelique. Or is it Angelica? Damn it! Now I don't.
I'm dying.
Hey, Bailey Chapman leading the board for this with a figure heart goal on the YouTube or on the TikTok side. E.T. Johnson in the number 2 spot. Bailey Chapman was at 2.1K, by the way. E.T. Johnson at 1.7. Mila Oso at 760. Then we've got Diane Sheehan, Big Hearted Bo, Jean Reed, Doroshko, Mungao, Melissa Rodriguez, Vampiric Angel, Abby May, I Am Broken, me too. Angel Arsenic, God's Blessed Wonder Woman, Naki Cat Official, Naki Cat. Real Broad Zuba, Daisy Desserts, Hello Kimi, Life in Japan, and Erica Hawkins. Thank you guys so much for the love. You have unlocked, what have you unlocked? Tony Spark and another spicy story. We have back-to-back spicy stories coming up here, so get ready. Let me set up the new one on the Tiki-Talkie side. I do have to set up another one on the YouTube side as well. Bear with me. 2 minutes and we'll be into the next story. Promise. Okay, the next one you're gonna, we could go back to back spicy stories here. On the TikTok side, we're going to go for a spicy story and candy feedback. This one is, there we go. Could it be possible that we would read 3 spicy stories?
I have 3.
Well, I know we're gonna unlock them all back to back to
Can I
back.
get a cake store? Wait,
It's
hold on.
crazy.
Don't I have a cake store?
Further down. Cake stories is after the one that we're diving into right now. Okay, and on the TikTok side, I'm going to set up a new goal for this. We'll start another one.
YouTube.
And that is going to be... Oh, the astronaut helmet.
You can choose which one.
I can choose which
The
one.
super realistic one.
Yeah, well, it's a tough choice. Actually, I don't know if the authentic one is there. I think it's just the other one right now. Okay, we are going after finger hearts on, we're going after Tiny Dinies on the TikTok side, 1.5K to unlock a spicy story and Candy Thunder feedback. On the YouTube side, we're going for 15 super chats. I think it's light blue and above, and that is for the astronaut helmet. Now, we are diving to the first spicy reward story that we have unlocked, and then you just unlocked the other one, so we're going to read 2 in a row.
This is the one that Candy just found.
This is the newest one.
It's pretty long.
Real broad. The cat's firecracker tails. Pop rocks and food also work well. Okay, let's go. Well, let me get this queued up here. Here we go. Spicy story time. Hey, it's Dusty, and I got one of these for you. It's spicy time. This one is from Relationship Advice and is titled, My 25 female parents have chased away every boyfriend I have ever had. How do I prevent this from ruining my relationship with my current boyfriend, 28 male? OP's 25 female. Ooh. Okay, no poll for this one. This is the one that you found right as our stream was starting, right?
Yeah, I haven't read the update. So.
Well, there's an update? It's spicy with an update. All right, let's go. I was very shy during high school and didn't leave my house unless I had to. So as a result, I didn't get a boyfriend until my freshman year of college. After 7 months of dating my first ever boyfriend, I brought him to my parents' house for dinner, just so they could meet him. I had to step away for roughly 10 minutes to help my older sister with her baby, and when I came back, my boyfriend, then 20 male, and my dad, old, were having a full-blown fist fight. We managed to stop them, and my boyfriend stormed off without saying anything, while my dad insisted my boyfriend was incredibly rude and disrespectful to him, and my mother and that guy, and my mother and that, I'm sorry. Words are hard. While my dad insisted my boyfriend was incredibly rude and disrespectful to him and my mother, and that a guy like that was no good for me because he just ended up doing the same to me. I was shocked that my boyfriend could do such a thing because he had always been extremely sweet, and I've never met or heard of anyone not liking him. But when I called him and told him what my dad said about what happened, all he did was laugh and say I can believe whatever I want before blocking me on everything. Okay. There's the first red flag, is that it's fishy, right? But also, if you're in this situation where your parents are doing something off their rocker to drive people away from you that's so bad that they won't even tell you what it is, and they just block you on everything because they're like, I don't want none. How are you supposed to fix it? It's not like your parents are going to tell you the truth. I was deeply disturbed by this, but my mom and sister insisted that he had just shown his true colors and said my dad saved me from an abuser. I reluctantly accepted this, but something about it felt really off. I met my second boyfriend several months later during my sophomore year. Part of me still felt my parents were part of the problem with my last boyfriend. Part of the problem. Okay. So I managed to get him to wait an entire year before introducing him to my parents. From the moment she laid eyes on him, every word my mom spoke to him was dripping with fake friendliness and subtle jabs implying she did not approve, which made him visibly uncomfortable. While we were eating dinner, she began asking me what made me decide to date my boyfriend, and asked about other guys and why they didn't work out. Some of the guys she asked about were completely made up. At this point, it was clear what they were trying to do, and I silently vowed to talk to my boyfriend and tell him how my parents were trying to sabotage me. Unfortunately, it didn't get that far, as my dad chipped in and demanded to know how a boy who couldn't support himself financially was ever going to support his daughter. Mind you, we were both juniors in college at this point, and both of us were working part-time jobs, so this question was really insane. He responded by saying he'd already decided he wanted nothing to do with his family and was planning to break up with me when we got home, but he's just trying to leave now. Within minutes, he was gone, and I was blocked again. Wow. My parents insisted they did nothing wrong and just wanted to test his confidence, as any parents would, but I pointed out that this was the second boyfriend they chased away and they didn't do anything to scare off my older sister's husband. Ooh, this is zeroed in on you. Okay, that's a red flag. I went low contact with him after that, but fast forwarding a little bit, I eventually allowed them to gaslight me into introducing them to my third boyfriend, whom I had met towards the end of my senior year. And basically the same thing happened. I had made it through college unable to find a long-term boyfriend purely because of my parents. I did meet my current boyfriend, 28 male, 2 years ago, and I have managed to avoid introducing him to my family thus far. If he ever brought it up, I would always have a ready-made excuse prepared to explain why it wasn't possible, which had been pretty easy because he usually only asks about them when planning for major holidays. I've fallen madly in love with him and I hope to start a family with him one day, but he recently told me he can't even allow me to move in with him until he's had a chance to meet my family. No! No! Okay, tell him the truth! Tell him the truth! I don't know what to do, as I know my parents will make it their mission to break us up if they meet him, but based on his insistence on meeting them, I realize I can't put this off any longer. Usually relationships end because something one person in the relationship says or does, and it's incredibly unfair that I always end up single because of things I cannot control. False. You can control this. I want to tell my boyfriend about my parents and insist that meeting them is a bad idea, but I've listened in on some of his conversations with his friends, and the general consensus among them seems to be that a girl with super dysfunctional family is a massive red flag and an indicator of what their married life would be like. That's an interesting thought. Would like to know your thoughts on that, chat. If in dating, if a person has a super dysfunctional family, is that an indicator of what your life is going to be like should you decide to continue in a relationship with that person? So I come here asking, how do I approach the problem that is my parents without risking losing the longest relationship I've ever had? If my parents end up being the cause of yet another breakup, I just don't know what I'll do. I just don't know. There is an edit. Is there an edit and an update?
Yeah, just keep.
Oh gosh. Okay, let me get through the edits first and then we'll dive into the update. Edit. Wow, I made this post about an hour before going to bed, but woke up to quite a few comments here. Thank you so much to everybody who has helped me realize that I need what I need to do. I've read through all the comments and saw some recurring questions come up that I wanted to address. I am not fully no contact with my parents primarily because they helped me a lot out financially during college and when I first graduated and was looking for a job. When I went low contact with them, they constantly yelled at me for being ungrateful and said family does not turn on each other over every minor disagreement involving boys. I can't remember which red flag button I've hit, so I keep hitting the wrong one. It sounds ridiculous when I type it here, but after months of this treatment, when I found myself faced with the decision to either tell them I forgive them so they'll pay for my dorm room, or refuse to forgive them and have to move back home, I ended up caving. Why didn't I stand up for my past boyfriends when I saw them being verbally abused? I don't know. I've never been allowed to talk back to my parents, so the thought of calling them out while having company is not something I ever realized I could do, I guess. My arguments with them after they ran off boyfriend 2 and 3 were the only times I've ever come into full conflict with them in my entire life. I will be going to my boyfriend's house today after work and will tell him everything. I'm terrified that he will still want to meet them. Just thinking about it has me shaking at my desk, but you're all right. He has the right to know and make his own decision. Edit 2, before the update. I told him and even showed him this post. To make a long story short, he still would like to meet them, but thanked me for telling him, as he always figured something was seriously wrong. My parents host dinners for our family every Sunday, and we will be attending this one. I suppose I'll make a new post with an update afterwards. Before diving into the update, I agree with telling him. I think if you want to have a serious relationship with this person, you have to tell them the truth. You have to. However ugly that truth may be, I think you have to tell them the truth, but it's also a big part of who you are. Like, what you have been through with your family to this point is a big part of who you are. I do not agree that a dysfunctional family is a preview into the life you're going to live with someone, but it is a part of who they are that you have to acknowledge and seek to understand and accept. The acceptance is a very important part here that can't happen until they are aware. So I'm glad that you're giving him that chance. I hope this is the kind of guy who already loves you enough and accepts you for who you are 100% in totality, even the parts he didn't know about yet, because that means what he'll do when he goes to meet them is pretend to allow them to run him off, but have the plan with you ahead of time, right? Having a plan with you ahead of time to say, okay, I'm going to let them do their worst. Whatever happens here, I will pretend to get mad and to leave, but just know that's just the show. We're going to let them think they have control. We're going to let them think they won, but it's not going to do shit. The other side of this is, I understand you caved because you needed them financially. That's also like a form of financial abuse here. They used the money that they were controlling you with to control you and isolate you and cause you emotional harm at the very minimum. So there's a lot of red flags about family here, but I'm hoping that boyfriend is enough. First of all, you can break that cycle. And maybe he's the guy that will help you start a new life sans financially controlled. All right, let's dive into the update. Needs Walter, though. What are you thinking so far, Tater? You read the story, but
I haven't read the update.
You have not read the update. Okay, so what are you thinking so far? What do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to get freaked out when he meets the family?
I think after 2 years,
They've been together for 2 years?
Yeah.
If somebody has a dysfunctional family, do you think that means that they're going to be dysfunctional in a relationship?
No, because of what we talked about last week.
Breaking the cycle. Yep. Okay. Dr. Sweets, it doesn't sound like sister's baby daddy is present, and it might be something both siblings are a victim of. Oh, okay. So it's like the sins of the brother-in-law kind of thing. Here's the update. I meant to make an update a lot sooner, but since my last post, a lot has happened. I truly appreciate all of the comments I received calling me out for hiding my parents being insane from my boyfriend and encouraging me to be honest with him. My boyfriend is pretty involved now, so I guess I should give him a fake name. I'll call him Ethan. I sat Ethan down and told him about my parents and how they ran off my previous boyfriends before showing him my original post as many recommended. Fortunately, he did not seem to care that I hadn't told him, but he did agree with many commenters that my parents were more than just insane, they were outright abusive. Although he understood how I felt, he still said he would like to meet them, both to see it for himself, but also because he felt that there was an underlying issue for their behavior. My parents have dinner for the entire family every Sunday, which I have been attending on the weeks that I'm not hanging out with Ethan that day, so we agreed that he would come to the next one. When Sunday came around and we arrived at my parents' house, my anxiety was through the roof. Ethan had agreed to leave with me the moment things started to get out of hand, but with my parents, that could have easily been as soon as we walked through the front door. My parents were surprisingly very nice, though. My dad actually seemed excited to see Ethan, and my mom fawned over her daughter bringing home such a handsome, confident-looking man. Confident-looking got me. I'm like, what does confident-looking look like? Handsome, confident. You look confident.
That's a thing.
Looking confident is the thing?
Yeah.
Looking confident to me says, like, you're brave to wear that. You look confident today. Not so many people can wear a leopard print G-string and nothing else in
It's
public.
more like posture.
Ah, posture?
Like the way you present yourself seems like you have confidence.
Huh,
I
okay.
don't think that's a weird thing.
I just had, I don't know, hadn't thought about it, I guess. I couldn't understand what was happening. Ethan even shot me a look a couple of times as if to silently ask if he was missing something, because my parents were actually lovely. I want to provide a play-by-play of the entire night, but the post would just be too long. The point is, my parents had done a complete 180 from their previous behavior, and it made me look and feel crazy for trying to warn Ethan about them ahead of time. Maybe they knew. Maybe that was the point. During dinner, my mom said she was so happy to see her daughter had finally found someone who wasn't judgmental and was willing to give me a chance because of the person I am today, because the past doesn't matter. My heart dropped. What was she talking about? Ethan said he does not know anything in my past that may be a cause of concern, and my parents exchanged a concerned look as if it was rehearsed. My dad asked him why he thinks my previous relationships failed, and he said that he was under the impression they got scared away after meeting my parents. My mother looked at me with disappointment on her face and said, "OP, is that really what you told him?" I was at a loss for words, but Ethan was not. He said, "It's pretty clear they're trying to plant seeds of doubt in him about our relationship, but he's not interested. And he knows me well enough to know my character, and that even if there was something serious in my past, parents who loved and supported me or even just wanted grandchildren would keep it a secret to avoid ruining my relationship." My dad said he already has 2 grandchildren and motioned towards my sister, who did not have her kids with her this evening. Ethan said my dad must have been very supportive of my sister for her to be able to start a family while he tries to run off any guy I bring home. And my dad's response was very casual but extremely shocking. He said, "Of course, she's actually mine." Everyone was quiet for a few moments. Come on, I can't even say the word moments right. Everyone was quiet for a few moments until Ethan spoke up and said that now all of the abuse they've only put me through is starting to make sense. My mom said he's spouting nonsense and that I've not been abused in any way. She then looked at me and admitted her marriage had a rocky start, but both her and my father have moved past it. I was too busy replaying my entire life in my head to say anything. The previous boyfriends, the lack of support for my social outings growing up, the volleyball games I had to have a friend drive me to because my parents were always too busy, the rage I always felt at the risk of facing if I ever spoke my mind, all while my sister got the opposite. I started to cry, the hardest I ever have. Ethan immediately announced that we were leaving. My dad demanded we stay where we are so we can clear things up, but Ethan ignored him as he pulled me out of my chair and led the way. My mom screamed at me not to leave and that this guy was trying to isolate me from my family. I yelled back that if anyone had been trying to isolate me, it was her for my entire life. As we drove back to Ethan's place, my mom sent me several text messages cussing me out, saying one mistake doesn't change the fact that my dad loved, supported, and raised me, and that he would always be my real father. Ethan said he's not my dad. He's an abusive, controlling asshole who is taking his insecurities out on me. I ended up blocking both of my parents' numbers because they were saying some truly awful things to me, both about myself and Ethan. Ethan said he was expecting them to be crazy, but this was far worse than he could have anticipated. He said I need to go into therapy immediately and that he'll pay for anything that insurance doesn't cover. My parents showed up at my apartment twice yesterday to demand I come out and speak to them, but I've been staying at Ethan's all weekend and will likely be here all week. I'm not sure if this is the update y'all wanted. I had countless people enraged at me for being spineless and not standing up for my parents, all while I had planned on doing so. That's not what happened. I don't know what is going to happen with my parents or where to go from here, but now the holiday is over, I can spend some time looking for a good therapist. Holy shit! That almost hit Tony Spark. I'm sorry.
It was like a,
It flew like a frisbee. It was a coaster, but it flew like a frisbee.
right towards my head.
Okay.
How was that update?
I might have read ahead.
You read ahead?
Well, I was just, yeah. I'm a spoiler. Furthering my psychopath theory.
You're gonna be muted and booted.
While I try to give my face a second to recover from what I just read, Tater, you want to come up and give some thoughts on this? Huh?
What?
You stood up like you were ready. I thought that's what the standing up meant.
I was fixing
Tater Thunder, ladies and gentlemen, come on up.
Picking a wedgie.
Tater thoughts. Well, sometimes picking a wedgie makes me think that you're wanting to come up. So come on up. Tell me what you think. I gotta hydrate for a second. Holy crap.
I actually was gonna say, I was like so impressed with the way that you were reading that with such like vigor that you'd read it before, but you haven't. But I'm just completely impressed by the way that you read this.
With feeling, even though I'm sight reading.
Yes, it's very, very impressive. I love it. But that's not how you drop that kind of information on a. Also, she is the mother's child, but the mother had to act like she just didn't exist because she had an affair.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care how you bring a child into this world. To act like they don't exist just because you fucked up is beyond madness. It's beyond.
Well, he still provided for her, but did it in a resentful way.
Hey, they didn't provide for her. They would have.
Well, no, I mean, financially provided.
She would have been
financially
better
controlled.
off to let someone adopt her, like instead of what they did to her, which was give her a half-life with strings and attachments and making her always feel like she wasn't good enough to have the support of her family. It's a fucked up situation and not something that I would ever do to another individual.
So I don't believe that this is isolated to them controlling her boyfriends. I believe that the isolation. Wait, okay, so
Sorry.
I got to backtrack for a second because now I'm questioning myself. Okay, so OP is not her
Mom's.
dad. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
not her dad's bio daughter. So he still in his mind took care of her, but resents her for it,
Right.
and punishes her and controls her with his support. And this can't just be isolated to boyfriends. This has to be something
She
that has
didn't.
affected
She said
every
it.
single part of her
Yeah,
life.
She said they never showed up for her. She always had to ride
Right.
with friends. Like she understands now why the things that happened to her in her life happened, and to have that information, to be able then to go forward and work on healing yourself without your family involved, I think is going to help her in the long run. But telling her the way that they did, treating her the way that they did, that's going to take a lot to overcome. And I hope that she finds a therapist that can help her.
Yeah, Ethan does get the green flag. We're going for that up.
Yeah.
And whether or not they stick this thing out, whether or not they stay together, whether or not his involvement leads to total healing, he knocked over the first domino.
But yeah,
or helped OP knock over the first domino.
He was someone in her life that stood up for her and didn't just walk away or leave her abandoned. Like he actually stood up for her, and now she knows what that feels like. Now she knows what she needs and wants, and it's people in her corner, which she's never had. And anytime she brought someone home who could have been in her corner, her parents put a stop to that and got them the hell out of there as fast as they could, so they could continue this cycle of crazy, fucked up abuse.
So you think that's what they were getting off on? Like they were enjoying the
know.
control? Because
They were enjoying-
comments are like, what good does running off the boyfriends do? I mean,
It
they're
takes
people,
away her joy. Like it takes away her happiness.
Yeah, so
Because
it's-
if someone else is involved in the situation, they can. I mean, if someone else is involved, she has someone else in her ear telling her what she should do and how she should react to this situation. If this is all she knows, then that's it. Like there's no. How's she gonna heal from that if this is what her norm is? So I don't know.
Damn.
That's how abusers make you feel like this is what you deserve. This is your life. This is what you should be thankful for what you have. And I think he solidified that by saying that he provided for her and he gave her this, that, and that. No, you didn't. You provided for her like a jailer would provide. People in prison probably have just as much amenities as you're offering this girl, because you never treated her like she was a part of your family. You just treated her like she was disposable because that's what you thought of. And I don't care if she was an affair baby. I don't give zero shits. You chose to have her. Either carry her and give her up for adoption, or treat her like a daughter. Like those are your only options to do this to someone. And people in comments on this post, I just looked at them, were like, this has happened to me. And then there's the people that are like, oh, this is so fake. This is the fakest shit I've ever heard. And I'm like,
Must live a very privileged life.
Very sheltered that no shit is ever dropped in your lap.
So, okay, there's a lot of comments now about dad used OP as a form of punishment for mom. So essentially tortured her. Because the other side of this is that I kept thinking is, why would her mom allow this? Why would her mom not fight for her to prevent this from happening? I mean, it has to
Because
bother
she
her.
valued her relationship with her husband.
She chose herself.
Yeah.
So her penance was her daughter leading a cursed life, and that's her punishment for cheating or for coming into a relationship with a baby. Like, we don't know if she cheated or if she had a baby whenever they got together.
She said a rocky start to the beginning of my marriage. I would assume that rocky start would be in cheating and getting pregnant of some sort. I don't know.
Good gravy. Yeah. No contact immediately. Like this family is poison for you, OP.
There you go.
The best thing you can do is get
Heidi
away.
Says mom is embarrassed by OP because it reminds her of what she did wrong.
But dad forces her to look at it to frequently remind her of why she should be embarrassed.
I'm sure that this is not the only person that this has happened to. I'm sure that there are many people who were born from affairs and did not, or received this kind of treatment. Received, like, you're there, you're seen but not heard. You're here, but we don't want you.
A life of imprisonment, basically.
Right.
Great. That was so. We did read the update. The update was what happened at that dinner. So
the sister was older, but I think OP made it seem like they weren't married when they had first baby, and then they'd gotten married. And
that's the math that confused me here. I'm like, wait, who? But yes, this makes sense now.
Yeah, I think that's what I was understanding, is that they weren't married when older sister was born, and then I think got married after she was born, and then OP was born. So, and she may have had an affair before the marriage. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. They may have gotten married because the second baby came along.
Agreed, Tracy. If you choose to stay together, you treat the child as your own. It wasn't the child's fault. And I think that's, that goes for blended families too. It's like if you're choosing to spend a life together, you're accepting all kids involved as your own.
Right.
Wild. Juliet, that's why you're no contact. It does not get better, or it does get better. Being no contact. Yeah. Ugh. My goodness. Dr. Sweets dropped the 5-ball on the YouTube side, says, I think parents knew she told Ethan about all this and why they were trying to convince Ethan that she was manipulating and lying to him. Yeah, like they're diabolical. These parents having a rehearsed plan ahead of time, like how much poison do you have to have in your veins to be constantly rehearsing how you're going to sabotage your kid next? It's pretty messed up. Pretty freaking messed up. And the parents have chased away every boyfriend I ever had. How do I prevent this from ruining my relationship with my current boyfriend? I think you accomplished this with the help of Reddit OP, which thank goodness for that. Wow. Now it's beginning a path to actually healing, and that will not involve them. Like they gone. They don't get proximity in your life at all. Never. All right, we're at 1485 of 15 hundo on the Tiny Diниes right now, which, as a reminder, unlock another spicy frickin' story, and that one has candy feedback baked in to the goal. So you're gonna be given like Sunday style feedback here. Can we get some feedback? Candy Thunder.
I'm over here singing The Greatest Show. And I was like, we should watch
Kelsey, you found us. Hey-oh. Real broad, that's right. Crispy Diet Coke. There it was. She didn't spill this one. Wait, what happened earlier? You didn't spill it.
I was trying to fix the ice because they got stuck together.
Uh-huh.
And y'all spilled it, all of it. All my
You
lemon
spilled it.
ice.
She spilled her only caffeinated Diet Coke. This one's a
I found one in the
caffeine-free.
drawer.
Oh, you found one in the drawer?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. She's like, yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have been up there twice already.
Now I would send the gift if you going up.
And then he is going up.
I'm trying to
because
keep
we
this
read the
calamity
spicy
of a
story.
show moving.
We unlocked an appearance from Tony Sparks, so you're gonna have to come up after this. Hey, we hit the goal on the TikTok side. In the number one spot, Mela Oso at 2.5K. Holy crap, thank you very much. Then Big Hearted Bo at 1.1K and Ryu Kochiha at 1K. Oh, look, we got a tie. with Bailey Chapman in the number 3 spot there. Ryu Kochiha and Bailey Chapman both at 1K in the number 3 spot. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate the love. AM Harlequin in the number 4 spot. Bella Luna, Jennifer Jago, Overkill Mill, Melanie J96, The Nana, Adventures with Pam, Mia Shelton, Trisha G, No Fox Given, Darcy LC, Steph is here, Greta Swan, Diroshko, Surface Grace, Janice C, 2014, Angel Arsenic, Naki Cat Official, words are still hard, Candy Thunder, Hack United, Real Broad Zuba, Daisy Desserts, Sassenach Storm, God's Blessed Wonder Woman, Christian Museum Girl, Faux Fox, Life in Japan, Nix Codfish, Allison Kakmar, Spinzarella, Jerry Lee Go Forth, Amy Love, and Erica Hawkins. You all are amaze balls. Thank you so much. Also, I like how reading through the gifter list is like truly a test of like how many different sounds you can make with your face without screwing up. And I fail every damn time. I haven't passed that test yet. Not a single damn time. The next thing we're going to unlock is a cake story and Sharkhead. Sharkhead? What am I, Maui? Okay. Cake story and Sharkhead. I feel like we need a cake hat so I can put the cake hat on when we unlock cake stories.
I'm gonna do it.
You'll make me a cake hat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna sew some ribbon on that cake, that plush cake we have at home.
No, deal. Okay, before we dive into the... Oh, look, perfect. Puzzle time, puzzle time, puzzle time, puzzle time. We are gonna unlock Spicy Story and, I'm sorry, Cake Story and Sharkhead, but right now you've already unlocked Tony Spark, so we've got to get him up here. Ladies and gents, here he comes.
Tony Spark.
Oh my god, it's Tony Spark!
Hi, people. How's everybody doing? It's cold.
Are you that guy from TikTok?
Said no one ever.
I thought you had plastic arms.
Yeah, I don't have plastic arms. I don't have my goggles on or whatever the hell.
Kind of a
I've got
superhero
wearing
outfit.
How is everybody? Public service announcement to, I've seen some people say that they're having issues with the app or they haven't been able to get their subscription. If you didn't know, TikTok is back in the app stores. So if you haven't updated your TikTok app, start there. You can update it. You should be able to get your subscription back if you want to do that. But yeah, the update hopefully will fix a lot of those things. So now that we can do it.
They fixed it for me.
Yeah. Candy was having all sorts of issues with hers last week. And her TikTok was it was messing up on her a lot. But yeah. The Daytona 500 was good. It rained. So it was kind of a longer day than I thought. It bled into the Saturday Night Live 50th thing, which I really wanted to watch, so I didn't get to watch that live. But that was all right. It was an okay race. It was a crazy exciting finish. What?
The puzzle thing he got that right.
Yeah, he did it. So yeah, it was good though. My driver got wrecked again, running like second again. So that was kind of a bummer, but yeah. Get him next week. My day's been good. Ventured out of the house today. I think I did it all right. I don't think I had cabin fever yet though, because I was in here yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And then so I came in yesterday morning because it wasn't bad. The snowstorm pushed later than they thought it would. So I came in for a few hours, and then when I started to drive home, it was starting to get bad. And then today I came in for this. So
The wind is so
yesterday the wind was crazy yesterday, but yeah.
Are
Wow.
you still mad at me?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Ooh.
Well, that's okay. I don't care about the
Obviously,
Disappointed you.
I'm not mad at Candy Thunder for the gift. And
You
to be
said, "I
fair,
hate you."
okay, it was okay. That was like I hate.
It's a loving.
It was a
hate.
loving I hate you.
It's a loving hate.
Yeah.
It's like an emotional reaction.
It was an emotional reaction, but it's because it's like I thought we left the gift in the past yesterday, and then today she sends me it.
Never.
Have you met me?
yeah,
Never.
Yeah. So it was,
Never again.
and it was just a weird GIF. I was just like, it's just weird. Yeah. I've been informed. My favorite driver is Ryan Blaney. He drives the number 12, Menards Ford. He grew up 15 minutes from Talladega. That's on my, I don't really have a bucket list of things to do, but Talladega, partying in the infield is probably pretty close to the top. Yeah. Julie, the jury is out on that. They predicted a lot. The predictions were what?
9 to 13.
9 to 13, up to 16, and all this stuff in there.
We got quite a bit.
We got
but
a lot,
it's
but
dry.
it was
very
so
fine.
cold. It was like the really small snowflakes. So, and the wind was blowing so crazy, so it didn't pile up. It just,
Yeah, it blew.
so it was hard. You couldn't just go stick a ruler in the yard and be like, oh, we got X amount of snow, because there's some spots where there was no snow at all. Like the roads, there were some spots that didn't have anything on it.
It's like a desert of snow.
Yeah.
Drifts and dunes
And
everywhere.
I think they're 5 to 6-ish.
3 feet? That's so much.
3 feet is a lot of snow. That is a lot. Holy crap, we hit the paper crane goal.
Okay, we gotta read some stories.
I know.
We're stacked up now, and we're running out of time. Things are beeping, and it's a lot of
What I thought about doing...
Hi, everybody.
Tony Spark, ladies and gentlemen. What I thought about while I was taking my pee break while Tony Spark was up here was Kate and Thunder edit note, right? From this point forward in the show, I'm going to read faster because we have a lot of stories we got to get through. And I think I've probably gotten distracted a little bit today. So I'm going to read at a 1.25x, whatever. I'm going to read at a faster speed. You may edit at 75% speed. And let's see what happens here. It's going to be like,
Hello, I'm Dusty Thunder. I have a story for you.
okay, so we're going to do the second spicy story now, correct? Is that right? Oh, actually, I'm going to give some thanks for the paper cranes. We're going to set up the next one, and then I will read like I am on fire. Can I get a gift list? Mamacita? Mamacita. There we are. In the number 1 spot for the paper crane goal, E. Tate Johnson at 4.2K. Holy crap balls. Thank you so much. Big Hearted Bo in the number 2 spot at 1.2K. Haunted Gal at 990. Charlotte Arnold, Cardinal Red, Real Broad Zuba, Allison Kagmar, and AM Harlequin. It's a short list because you guys just knocked it out of the park immediately there. Thank you guys so much. That is huge, and TikTok is back, baby. TikTok is back. Okay, that one was Cake Story and Sharkhead. I have a lot of stories to catch up on, huh?
Yeah, you pretty much. And the sad thing is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other stories on that.
You have 5 other stories on that. I just got to read fast.
We're not gonna get to it. You better get to these 3.
I can do it. I can read fast, Tony Spark. I can do it. I can do it. Okay. Whoop. Whoop. Hand hearts for Tony feedback. Rock and roll.
Oh no.
Hey, Myra. Good to see you there. All right. What, the hand heart one? What, Tony feedback? Yeah, buddy. You're in the mix. Okay, I'm going to get to spicy reward story number 2. All right, here we go. Off to the races. I'm going to read as fast as I've ever read before and hopefully not screw up a lot. Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder with yet another one of these for you. Spicy story time. This one comes from AITA and is titled, Am I the Astronaut? My wife became emotionally abusive since giving birth. She topped it off by cheating. Now she is begging me to reconsider. It's not really a question of how you're the asshole there. We'll just dive right into this and we'll see what we get into. I, 28 male, have been married to my wife, 27 female, for 2 years, together for 4. 14 months ago, we had our first baby. She hasn't gone back to work, and I have been the sole breadwinner, her choice. And since she gave birth, my wife became a nightmare to deal with. She became irritable, angry at me for the smallest reasons, complains about everything. Everything is somehow my fault. All she does is hold the baby all day, even if he didn't need her to be held, and scroll through her phone. Everything else is my responsibility. We haven't had sex for over a year and a half, and whenever I try to address it, she lashes out at me because even though I'm the only one who works and I do all the housework, yet I'm insensitive and don't care about her. I haven't brought up sex until 3 months postpartum. I was basically her emotional punching bag. I tried to get her to therapy. I tried to address her behavior, but all I get is more verbal abuse. I hated our marriage. I wanted to end it, but I was scared of the idea of co-parenting. I was scared of the social backlash of ending a marriage with a child involved. And also a small part of me was hoping that somehow things would get better. Well, last month she made it a lot easier to end it. She told me she was going to a bar with her friends. She came back home at 4 a.m. drunk. As soon as she slept, I snooped through her phone and found texts between her and a random guy implying that she went to a hotel room with him. I was almost relieved when I saw them. I could finally walk away from this miserable marriage without any guilt or regret. The first thing I did was take a DNA test for the baby. He is mine. As soon as the results came back, I informed my wife that I am aware of her infidelity and our marriage is over. She broke down crying. She begged for my forgiveness. She tried to use every excuse in the book: postpartum postpartum depression, past trauma, alcohol. She promised to make it up to me. She said she would do whatever I want. She said that she doesn't want our family to break, but I wasn't having any of it. I had already hated this marriage, and the infidelity was just the nail in the coffin. We still live together, and she has been begging me to reconsider, promising me everything under the sun, but I have no intention to reconsider, and I told her she is not allowed to speak to me anymore. Am I the astronaut? Nah. Also, this is a Candy Thunder feedback spicy story. So Tater Thunder's gonna get right back up here, but I am at no. You let it build up. Not you didn't let it build up to this point, OP, but OP, your partner, let it build on to this point and is only sorry because she got caught and now there's a consequence involved, right? I do wish there had been a boundary discussion earlier where you had said, look, if this continues, I'm going to want to leave this marriage. But I think by the point you were ready to have that conversation, it was already too late. It is, it's an NTA for me. What do you think, Tater?
I think that he has every right to leave. I mean, she broke a vow, she cheated, and sometimes there's no coming back from that. And I think no matter what, cheating alters the state of a relationship permanently. There's before cheating and then after cheating. So even if he did choose to stay, the current state of their marriage and how he was feeling in that marriage, this is unfixable in my opinion. This gave him the out that he wanted. And I also think it's really important to remember that women can be abusive too, whether or not the issue is because of postpartum or not. We still need to be mindful of the fact that women can also be abusers, and it can't always be that the woman is innocent, because sometimes they're not, and sometimes they do shitty things and treat men in shitty ways, or their partner, whoever that is. So I do want to make sure that is said, because I'm a huge advocate for healthy relationships, and this was not healthy. It's not healthy to treat your partner in a certain way, and I'm sure that he voiced what was wrong, and if it is postpartum depression, then encourage your partner to talk to somebody, encourage your partner to change what's going on and talk to their doctor, because that's why we follow up. That's why we have appointments at the year mark, at the 6-week mark. Like, follow up with your doctor and find out what's going on if you're not feeling the same way after birth that you felt before. And as a partner, you need to be able to recognize what it looks like and help them through that. But at the same time, we also have to recognize that she could just be abusive in a way that he was willing to take the shit and he was willing to let it roll, and she just piled more on to see how far she could go. Mm-hmm. And he has every right.
Punishing him for what though? Like for existing? Or because she resented him at that point because he wasn't the dream that she wanted?
It's not that. So there is this moment, like, and I'm sure that a lot of women who have been postpartum, like, you get, it's depression. Like, you get in a funk and things just piss you off and you feel like out of body, out of control. And if you lean into that and allow it to become who you are and don't get the help that you need to work through that, you can 100%, like the Eye of Sauron kind of thing is very true. Like, and she focused all of that energy on what it feels like hating him because it felt like an outlet for those negative feelings that she was feeling. I'm not a therapist. I don't know. That's just how I felt whenever I was postpartum. Like things, but I had, post Ava, it was rough. Post Navy, I put in work before I got pregnant to recognize those feelings within myself and check myself. And, postpartum with Navy was a lot easier because I could check those feelings and be like, that's not accurate. I know that this man loves me. I know that I shouldn't be mad at him. And I know that I shouldn't put all of my anger on him. Did I want to? Yes. Did I do it? No. Did I maybe do it? Yes. But do you know what I had the ability and the tools in my toolbox the second time around to say, this isn't how I want to treat the person that's here to help me. This isn't how I want to.
Did you just call me a tool?
No, I had the tools.
We had this discussion last time we did a stream.
Yeah.
No sword fights.
I don't even know.
Can't both have them.
I just think being able to recognize those intrusive thoughts where it's like, no, your husband isn't your enemy. No, your husband isn't making your life a living hell. I mean, maybe he could be, but if that's not the norm, then you need to figure out why you're having those thoughts. And I feel like addressing those postpartum is much harder than it is a normal, day-to-day life. For me, this is my experience, my opinion.
So Riddler, and I saw some other comments there too where OP tried to address things. We don't know how OP did that. And
right.
I guess there needs to be a book or some helpful content about how, as a man in that position or as a partner in that position for somebody who says that they're struggling with PPD, but you feel driven away by it. How do you handle that? What do you do? And it's a very, very delicate thing, right? How would you, I'm sure it varies by individual, but it's a very tough position to be in. And I'm sure that, being a woman suffering from PPD and who doesn't put up enough of a fight to stop it from completely taking over, at that point, it's like a treadmill moving really fast, right? And jumping off is really difficult to do.
100%.
So
yes.
it's either there becomes this tipping point where it just gets more and more and more difficult over time to stop that and turn it around. And if she let that run full steam and never checked it at all, and he just kind of had to watch it all happen, what are you supposed to do?
I will say in that moment, like you said, a treadmill that's just going faster and faster. Somebody suggesting therapy when you're in that mindset feels like an attack on yourself. It feels like they want you to fix yourself because you're not right. And in that moment, when those negative thoughts are in control, suggesting therapy to someone is not, to them, it's not helpful. To them,
it's an attack.
It's an attack and it pisses them off. And so I'm not excusing her behavior because I think her behavior was not okay. How she treated her husband is not okay. And ultimately, she allowed those negative thoughts to take root in her life. She allowed that feeling of depression to define who she was, and that person is who cheated. And I think at the end of the day, if she didn't want to cheat, she wouldn't have cheated, but she didn't get the help that she needed. And these are the results of that. It tanked her marriage. And so I think putting more emphasis on mental health post-pregnancy is important. Even, before you have the baby, before labor, before
having
any
some
of
mental armor built up, I think it'd be a good idea. But also there's got to be part of you that knows right and wrong that whole time. So once she let it get to the point where she was willing to cheat, she knew it was wrong, right? I don't think that there's a way you can go through with that and continue using your PPD as an excuse.
No, I think she had PPD and I think she leaned into it and it became who she was, and that person was not who he married. And that person was someone who cheated. And it fucking sucks that it tanked a family, but I think they're better apart. He's done. He's indifferent. There is no way to get him back. In my opinion. That's just, I don't think he's coming back. He doesn't want.
Dang.
He needed the out and she gave it to him.
And it does suck when there's a kid involved. But again, you have a child growing up in a home with two unhappy people, or the possibility of a child growing up with two separate and happy people. It's pretty easy to see which one works out better.
Miss Helene, I think that's also so important. It's the mental mindset. I had 5 years to prepare before we did IVF with Navy. I had 5 years to combat my feelings, like, and work on myself and become a better version of me. And not because he needed me to or anyone else. Like, I did that for me because I wanted to feel better. But I just think it's so important for women to understand what pregnancy and postpartum looks like on your mental health. And I don't think there's enough information on that readily available for both people involved in the pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, it ruins a lot of lives that we see, that we read about. So it's definitely a problem.
I'm totally okay. This isn't a difficult. I struggle because I think mental health should be highly important in our society, because I think it plays an incredible role in who we are and the functioning of our society. And I don't think that we value that enough. So mental health for me is something that is extremely important. But
you feel like we as a society, at least here, it's an afterthought?
Correct.
Which is super ironic.
But, like the person that I'm talking to is a PA for my doctor, who I found that I like, and she does listen and she hears me, and you agree that she is someone that listens. And so I switched Ava to this PA, and she was talking to Ava about her mental health and on her first appointment and stuff like that, and she gets it. She gets the link between our mental health and our physical health, and to me that's an important factor in finding a doctor that will listen to you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Tater, thanks so much. So that's a really tough situation to be in, and it's an NTA.
NTA, 100%.
It's an NTA. I do think that, having some resources, being prepared for how to handle that situation should be faced with it on either side, and knowing what to do is something that we definitely need a lot more resources for. Faux show. Let me go ahead and get a little music started while we do a pivot over here, and I'm going to dive into the next spicy story. We have spicy story number 3 to read next. Correct, Tony Spark? And I have 9 minutes to read like 9 stories, so we're going to go after this. We gonna get it! But also, I want to try to do one thing right quick. And I know there are still some sync issues happening over there. I'm going to bump this and see if that... Let me know if that helps or hurts, okay? And we can make edits when we do this in post to try to get the story part of it that gets posted okay, but I'm trying to address it on the back end too. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. We have yet another spicy freaking story for you. Holy crap. The title of this one is, Am I the Astronaut for telling my husband if he can't provide for me this... Sorry, the order of the words got to me. Am I the astronaut for telling my husband if he can't provide for me this pregnancy, I won't have the baby?
What?
So I don't think OP's saying, like, provide me with the pregnancy. It's like, provide for me during the pregnancy, right? Just the wording there is very... not wording.
What?
Exactly. What? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in here since we're trying to get through multiple if we can. I'll start this by saying I love my husband, and the last thing I want to do is leave him or not keep the baby in my body. I'm just being realistic. Today I asked my husband to get me some pastries. They're literally like $3 max. He got them for me with no complaints, and that made me happy. Like 30 minutes ago, I asked for a box of mozzarella sticks and some corn dogs. He told me to make something from what we have in the fridge. Well, the fridge doesn't have anything I can eat. It's mostly veggies from when I was trying to be healthy, and that kind of backfired on me because they're all mostly not good anymore. We don't have nothing, because saying that would be so wrong to people who actually have nothing, but to my pregnant taste buds and nose, we have nothing I could keep down. He won't budge. I don't think it's because of money. I think it's because he doesn't actually understand what I'm feeling, and that if I could eat the things we have, I totally would. How do I explain to him how I'm feeling? I told him that I wouldn't keep the baby if this is how my pregnancy will go, and he got very understandably upset. I didn't entirely mean it, but honestly, I don't think I can go through this any longer. I'm so hungry all the time, but so nauseous that I can't eat unless it's something I want. Another thing to add is that we have a 13-month-old. A lot can happen in a year, so I'll say I'll say months until she's 2. And he was in boot camp. And he was in boot camp my whole first trimester with her and doesn't understand. I also feel so bad for being so tired. I'm a stay-at-home mom, but all I want to do is nap all day. I still parent because it's something I have to do, but I feel it's unfair to my firstborn and to my husband that he has to come home from work and help me with the baby and also sometimes cooks the meals. I just want to not be sick and tired all the time anymore. I'm probably not the person who should be giving feedback on this, but from a dude's perspective, like, OP, you have a human inside of your body that wants certain things, that has tastes that are potentially different than yours. And you're feeling sick, like you're pregnant. What you're experiencing is pregnancy. You're nauseous, you're tired, you're hungry all the time, your frustrated husband who wouldn't get you the food. It's like, buddy, just get the pregnant lady the food she wants, okay? Telling a pregnant lady she can't have the food she wants is a come what may moment. You do that shit, everything's on the table. Like, you don't know how she's gonna react. It's not gonna be favorable, and it's not gonna be in character because something else is contributing to that conversation, right? Like, baby's down there like, give me some goddamn Cheetos. And he's like, just make something from what we got. And the baby's like, are they Cheetos? And he's like, no. And then he's like, okay, fine. I'm going to screw all this shit up. And just starts throwing, like, tugging on stuff and throwing words out there. And shit happens. Like, she knows she shouldn't have said what she said. She knows that. She doesn't sound like she's ready to walk it back, but she knows she is acting out of character right now. She knows that. Buddy, get your pregnant wife the food that she wants, or she'll take it upon herself to go get it herself. And when she starts doing that and taking care of herself, you're in dangerous territory there, okay? But OP, I think the only thing you should feel bad about is letting it get so far that you said what you said. Walk it back, apologize, and then get the damn food you want. Tater, you don't mess with the pregnant lady's food. You just don't do it. Look, I knew that well enough to be like, hey, you know what? If you want whatever you want, when you need it, I will go get it.
But what you also don't do is threaten to delete your baby because you don't have mozzarella sticks.
I understand, and she knows she went too far saying that. She knows it. She said it.
I get it. Like, I get it.
Is that crown for me? I think it was meant for you.
It sucks to, you went too far. You flew too close to the sun and it didn't work. First trimester it sucks. Every time. For me, anyways. There are women who never get sick, and I want to be you.
I want to be you.
But it fucking sucks. Yeah, Phoebe.
You had my tastes.
Yeah, Phoebe had to eat meat. I hate salad soaked with ranch, and you know, my first trimester with Navy, all I wanted was salad and cucumbers soaked in ranch. It's like we don't make the rules, we just listen. But at the end of the day, like, if I didn't have what I wanted, it wouldn't. I would never say this.
You would have gotten over it, but
I would never, ever, ever, ever say this. And to me, going back to what we just talked about, pregnancy and mental health should go hand in hand. And this, to make that kind of a ultimatum is fucked up. Like, that's weird. That's too far.
It is too far.
And I think the fact that you went way too far should be addressed with your doctor, because that's not a normal response to not getting the food that you're craving.
But here's the other side of it. Because I, as a dude, don't understand what it's like to feel that imbalance, to feel that, like, not myself. I am also like, look, the Krang thing, as much as you don't want me to use the Krang thing anymore,
no, I mean, it
makes
is accurate.
so much sense. It's like babies down there just with the joysticks, just like,
except it's the,
will not tolerate
the
your
hormones.
insolence.
Yeah.
yes, it's the hormones. And I'm sure it makes you act out of character and say crazy things that sometimes cross a major line, and that you need to walk back. But on the flip side of that is, like, dude, if you don't feed the bear, the bear will get angry. Okay,
Yeah.
like just get the pregnant lady the food she wants. It will be
yeah.
much better for everyone if you do.
When you walk this back, you need to give yourself an ultimatum that this is not something that flows freely from your mouth, because this is marriage damaging, like flinging shit, like saying I'm going to again delete the baby because you didn't do this. It means you're not showing up for me. He did show up for you. He got you the first thing that you asked for. Number 2, he asked you to eat something that was in the fridge. Also, I understand the veggies and wanting to eat healthier, and those veggies
Plan backfired.
Yeah,
Plan
going to shit in
backfired.
the fridge. I get that. But this is not something that would come out of my mouth. Ever. And I think the fact that it did needs to be addressed. And it's not something you can just walk back freely. This is something that you need to address and figure out why the fuck you said it. Because that ain't normal. This is my opinion. I don't think this is walk back ability. This is more, why did you say this? Why was this ever on the table? Why was this even a thought in your brain?
But he also needs a better understanding of
Yeah.
the things happening
Yeah.
during that phase of pregnancy and
I get it. Trust me, I fucking get it. I wanted
would you
fresca
rather
and salads with
would you
ranch.
rather get her the food, or would you rather have her say shit that's way out there?
But I think that's my question is, why did your mind go there? And are you okay? Because that's not a normal response to not getting mozzarella sticks, even being pregnant. I had very niche cravings. Like Outback Outback was on my like speed dial because I only wanted their salads, their cucumbers, and their croutons and their ranch. Like that was it. And that went on for like 6 weeks. And then like one day I was like, I fucking hate Outback. I don't ever want to eat there again. And I understand cravings. The only thing I'm saying is that she went too far.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
For sure.
And that would be this for me.
Okay. And I'm on the side of you see what happens when you don't feed her? Man, like just it's so much easier, and guess what? It feels good to serve as well. All right? It feels good to take care of your pregnant wife. It does for me. Like
He was
whatever
the sweetest.
whim
You all
she
know
had.
that. You all know he was the sweetest.
You said I was really great while you were pregnant. And then once you had Navy, I wasn't attending to your every need anymore.
No,
Which I'm sure is a common thing.
well, yeah, you
right?
just split your focus. But see, my postpartum brain was like, seething. And that's not a normal response. Like, in my opinion, that's just not how I would normally react to anything. If he was tending to Navy, I'd be like, peace, bye, I'm taking a nap. But instead, I got pissed off. But I don't feel that way.
Oh, I
Now,
understand.
looking back on it from a my personal, like, normal standpoint, what's normal for me, I feel differently, I guess is what
I
I'm trying
understand
to
though.
say.
I mean, I understand the perspective too.
Yeah.
And that's why, gentlemen,
Oh, a coffee was something that I craved.
partners of
Yeah.
women in PBD,
And-
like
and
it's
this-
like
this-
Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, this woman just had a baby, like, 13 months ago? Like, and she's already pregnant. That's a lot. That's a lot on your body. It's a lot on your mind, mentally, like, that's a lot. But don't say that.
We had Outback for my team birthday lunch
Yeah.
last week before, something like that.
Bloomin' onion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Elise was like, "Have you been back?"
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
it was
yeah.
just for the duration of my pregnancy. Like when that switched, when there was like, it's like a flip, like somebody turns off the craving and you finally had enough and you're like, I never want that again.
It's wild to think that as a human being, like you have been through like at least 3 different rounds of your tastes completely changing.
Oh,
Ava, Navy, COVID,
yeah.
right?
COVID is still
your
wreaking
taste
havoc.
buds, like all of your preferences flipping. It's just wild to think you go through like, wow.
There was also, I couldn't drink like Diet Coke when I was pregnant. And like seeing dark soda, like dark colored soda would make me instantly
seeing
want to
it.
vomit. Yeah. It was bad. Like I would like my mom, I'm like, can you just put a napkin? Can you put that in a dark glass? I can't look at it.
The color of your soda is offensive to me.
It
Could
is.
you please use the koozie? Damn.
A cozy. I like it better.
Damn, a cozy. Couldn't handle bacon. I'm sure there's all. It's just wild.
No, raw
It's
meat.
wild.
Raw meat was one of them.
Raw meat. Good gravy. Okay, I know it's 5:04. I've got to get one more story in here, at least, right? Am I on cake reward story? Is that where I'm at? Yeah. All right. It's time for the cake reward story. Do I still have the button, or did I have to take the button off? I had to take the button off to make space for something else, so I don't have my cake story buttons. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. We have a cake story for you. This one is from AITA Relationships and is titled, Am I the Astronaut If I, 29 female, want to break up with my boyfriend, 29 male, over a failed birthday cake? You know what? Let's do the poll for this one. We got to do it. If I can get it to cooperate. Poll starting right now. Title again, Am I the Astronaut If I want to break up with my boyfriend over a failed birthday cake? OP is 29 female, boyfriend is 29 male. I mean, that's a response. It is it's one way you can go. I'm going to go ESH. Just going out on a limb, taking a gamble here. ESH. Somebody screwed up a cake, that's a crime. If somebody is willing to leave their relationship because of a cake, it's probably a crime too. Depends on the fail. Agreed. 18 seconds left. Break up over a cake? I don't know. I mean, look. It depends. It depends. Got to be a culmination, Elizabeth? I think you're probably right. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Wow. Okay. ESH won. ESH got 34%. NTA took 27%. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
You say what ESH.
ESH is everybody sucks here. NTA is not the
Oh
astronaut.
no, my phone just shut down.
Did your phone just shut down?
I plugged in the charger, but not the phone. I'm over here thinking I'm charging.
I like how you say my phone shut down, not my phone died. Like, just shut down all on its own. Okay, here we go. Now let me explain. My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years and living together at that for at least 3. Recently, it was my birthday, and he got me a birthday cake. I did not even expect one, mind you, but regardless, I'm very picky with desserts and normally don't eat any dessert that isn't chocolate. It has always been like this for me. I've been expanding my choices a bit lately, but still chocolate is my one and only go-to in 99% of cases. On top of this, I really dislike marmalade. So imagine how thrilled I was when I opened the cake and it was a marmalade jam cake. I didn't even say anything because he probably would have laughed about it or said, "Oh, sorry, you know I'm no good at these things, but I did my best." But when I saw it, I really thought, what are we even doing together? I know it's a very small thing, but in fact, it's so small, it should have even been a given, I think. How is it possible that my boyfriend of 4 years knows so little about me? Please mind that my boyfriend and I have fights very often, and by no means is this the only reason I am ready to break up. No, there it is. It's not the only thing. But I think this kind of was the last straw, the final wake-up call. Am I overreacting, or does this make sense? I don't think asshole is the correct word, but Reddit recommends I post it like this.
I love the update.
The update's fantastic, but I want to hear what you guys think first. If somebody got you a cake after 4 years of dating that was something that you, like, very vocally did not like, regardless of OP's picky choices, like, that's your own taste, right? But if your significant other of 4 years got you something that they knew you did not like or should have known, if they listened 0.01% of the time, is that a break-upable offense? I think it is. I think it is like, wow, okay, you went and got the thing I like least, so maybe you listened at some point, but not only are you not listening, there's just like there's a wires getting crossed in there, brother. I think it would be okay.
It's like the biscuit McMuffin.
No, this is the biscuit McMuffin thing?
I didn't hear the story. I don't know. I was here.
Candy Thunder prefers most of the time like an English muffin breakfast sandwich, right? Sometimes she'll ask for a biscuit, but that is like a rare occasion. And for me to get into, like, to get it into my brain that she likes the English muffin bread on her breakfast sandwiches took years. It took years. But it wasn't also like a birthday muffin. You know what I mean? Wouldn't screw that up. I think it's warranted. Here's the update. I broke up with a boyfriend. That's it. That's the update. OP broke up with him. Yeah, and I agree, OP. Well done. Well done. I think we all knew this wasn't going to be just about this, but it was a culmination. It was a lot of things, and this was the last straw. So I think that makes perfect sense. So, yeah, NTA. It is an official NTA. And there was like 5 stories that I didn't get to today. So what's up?
So I went to the story to see if she had commented anything. She hadn't.
OP had not commented anything?
But I scrolled through her other posts. This is not the first AITA story she's written about her boyfriend.
This is not the first AITA story she's written about her
I'm
boyfriend.
just going to give you some titles.
Oh, hold on. You have a microphone. Let's use it.
I'm just gonna give you some titles from a couple of these stories that she's posted. Maybe we'll. I haven't read any of these, so maybe we'll look into them and do it. But one story a year ago, and this story was from 5 months ago. So
This one that we were just
the one
read?
that we just
Okay.
read is from 5 months ago. A year ago, she asked relationship advice: is my 28 female relationship with 28 male bad for me, or am I the problem? So that was one of her stories. Then it says a year ago too, so it must have been pretty soon after this. I, 28 female, still cannot completely forget a love of the past, 29 male, even though I'm in a relationship.
Oh.
Limerence.
Then there was another one that says, am I the asshole for wanting to travel for months by myself because my boyfriend isn't really into traveling, stingy, and won't get a passport?
Sounds like the
I read the summary of that story, and it was basically like, when he first brought it up and they started dating, like from the beginning, like knew she liked to travel and like brought it up and all that stuff. And then he was like, oh, we're young. I don't have the money. I'm just poor, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like as it goes, like has money, just now doesn't want to do it and all that stuff. So
It sounds
there's
like
been some ongoing issues.
I think
with
the
this.
boyfriend is the marmalade cake.
And
I
she
think
did
he is
say
the
that
cake.
this wasn't the cake wasn't the only thing. So
Yeah, that's rough.
maybe I'll read these stories and we'll see if there's some more context at some point.
I think, yeah, I think there was obviously a lot going on here, but it seems like it was doomed. Yeah, the cake was the final nail in the coffin. Apparently, he's the cake. He's the marmalade cake, which means if there's a limerence thing going on, she has this preference, and she always gets the thing that she doesn't like. Well, then why string him along, right? Like, why keep it going if you know you don't actually like this guy? I don't know. That's tough, but I think this finally did it. This finally made that happen. So there it goes. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to go ahead and call this one. We're going to get ready for the VIP. I know we still have a lot of stories to read. We'll have to start throwing them in on some other sessions. Actually, Tater Thunder and I were talking yesterday about something we need to do, and I think some of the stories we have left here would work perfect for that. We'll talk after the stream ends. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. It is a snow day for us, so yeah, we're gonna go back out to our 2 feet of snow or whatever the hell it is, and try to wade all the way through that. I know I have some catching up to do, and I can only see part of the names as a reminder on the TikTok side. For whatever reason, they screwed this thing up. Bailey was sitting the Chasing the Dream 2 times. Thanks so much for that. Lucy, now in the Gosh Jacket fam, hell yeah. Jersey, Jenny. We've got Mama Adventures, Jenny with the ice cream cone. Rage 73, Doroshko. Bailey with the crystal crown, which I think was when Candy Thunder came up, and I think it was meant for her, but I wore it. Adventures with Pam. We've got Ty, Rosie, thank you guys so much. We greatly appreciate the love. I think I also have some catching up on the YouTube side to do here as well. Yes, Margarita, while we're doing a VIP right after this stream, but the members only YouTube stream will be tomorrow night, Thursday night, and it is scheduled already on there, I believe. Let me go back up and make sure. Still scrolling. Okay. Nope, I think I got it. Unless I'm just not seeing it there. Oh, Totally Radical with a floating heart for 10 jewels. Thank you so much over there. Meg's World. Hell yeah. It's great that we're seeing some family members jump back here. I think someone on the TikTok side. Alexa in the Got Shaken fam here now. Heck yeah, somebody else had received a gifted. Yeah, there we go. Anae is back. Jessica Shadow, hell yeah, good to see you there. There is another one here, I swears it. Or I'm just going crazy, which is entirely possible. Theosaurus Rex is back, hell yes, in the Gosh Heckin' fam. Allison Kakmar also.
VIP is tonight.
The VIP live is tonight. So tonight, like in 15-ish, 20 minutes, right after this stream. The members only stream is tomorrow night. The YouTube one at 9 p.m. Yeah, I think that was where there was some confusion. So yes, we are doing VIP. Give us about 50 minutes to get that set up and we'll see you there shortly. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Greatly appreciate it. VIPs, we'll see you here soon. Bye. Mwah. It's too cold out. Let's just stay here.
Everybody who likes the gift that Candace, or is that person who posted the VIP?
Okay. You posted that in the VIP.
No, somebody else